Well, welcome everybody to the latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get underway with tonight's session. So, team, you'll likely recall when we started off last week, you guys were in the middle of a pitched battle. You were fighting in the tunnels here. You were fighting against some Orogs, some heavily armored Orog frontline soldiers, as well as Orog archers, and then it seemed as though there was an Orog spellcaster of some kind in the back who is assailing you guys with some longer range magic. You guys continued fighting through this tunnel and eventually were able to defeat most of these opponents. The spellcaster was retreating fairly regularly and using magic to prevent you from easily catching up to him. He had used some earth magic to injure you guys and then create some difficult terrain in an area. And then later he created or conjured a couple of dire wolves to block the passage of Tavern, who was closest to him, and anybody else who might be trying to follow along at that point. As you guys defeated those threats and then continued making your way to where the shaman was backing up or retreating to, you didn't have eyes on him immediately. It seemed as though he had retreated further to the north. You did start to hear the sounds of many Orogs speaking and perhaps moving and that sort of thing. Think of this as like a rustling kind of sound. To the southwest, however, in this offshoot chamber, there was an unarmored Orog who was leaning up against a stone like plinth. And when he was leaning up there, he was in a sitting position, leaning against it. As you guys kind of examined him, got a bit closer, you realize he didn't have any eyes. Not as though his eyes were gouged out or somehow forcibly removed, but simply as though they were erased from his body. Also in that same cutout chamber, you found that there was a large hole in the ground that seemed to lead down. Kind of glancing down, it looked like it went about 20 feet down to another level. You guys eventually were worried about the Orogs coming from your north and attacking you in more mass. You weren't sure how many Orogs remain, so you decided to collect the body of this blind, missing eyes Orog and take him back to the full expedition group and then discuss what to do from there. Once you had brought him all the way back, there was some, we'll say, aggressive negotiations between Cerilia and the blinded Orog. The Orog didn't seem very receptive to Cerila's pleas, and he pretty much just wanted you guys to kill him as best as Cerilia was able to determine. The dwarves in your group seemed to agree, yeah, let's just kill this Orog, and eventually you guys decided to do just that. So you killed the Orog, but we're still curious as to what befell him, how this occurred to him. Eventually, after filling in the expedition and Dwali in specific, the expedition leader, that there was another level down. It looked to be some like ruins. There was these stone kind of structures. It looked like they had been toppled. He was curious about this, and so you guys decided to make your way back and kind of scope things out. Still no signs of the Orogs at this point, so you guys once again entered this cutout chamber and eventually using some ropes descended down below. You found a reasonably smaller chamber down below after descending the 20 feet. And there was a couple of ruined structures as well as a entire path to the north that seemed to be blocked off through this large amount of rubble. There was also another path to the east with another hole in the ground. This one, eventually you guys learned, leads about 80 feet down to a very narrow stone bridge that seems to cross over a river of lava. So with that in mind, you guys scoped around a little bit more, but primarily in this chamber, the thing of most interest was this almost looked like a tower. It was not massive, but it was a stone structure, obviously crafted, not natural. And there was a door, though it seemed an odd door and covered in dust. Eventually, one of our characters touched the door, trying to brush some dust off, which I believe it might have been Cerilia first, and she vanished. And then one by one, the rest of our team members, either happily or perhaps very much worriedly, also touched the door and found themselves eventually all on the other side of this door, inside this tower or this structure. Inside it was perfectly clean, as though it hadn't been exposed to the outside perhaps ever. It was very much absent of any dust, debris, dirt, anything like that. Very, very sanitized, you might say. Eventually, you guys discovered that there was a statue up above inside the structure, but on the second level, there was a small set of stairs that led there. And while in this chamber, some visions started occurring to Dian. He could see himself walking up the stairs, kneeling before the statue, and then his eyes being removed from him when he then found himself on the other side of the door. So this seemed to answer the question of what happened to the Orog that you had found up above, but it also was not exactly a promising future for Dian. So he tried to resist that as much as he could, though the image was relentless and kept pulsing in his mind. And he eventually realized that this image was almost trying to force him to react this way, and he would have to do something. So our team found themselves in battle at that point. The statue was very resolute. The team quickly discovered that it was immune to non-magical weapons, so a non-magical weapon attack did nothing to it at all, which Tavern discovered with his father's warhammer. The rest of the team had some use of magic. Unfortunately, the newest member of the team, Thorn, did not. So he was trying to do what he could to try to just block or provide a maybe a barrier for the creature to hit certain characters of the group. Between Tavern's magical fist, you infused with Ki, along with Serena's shipwrecker attacks and Saline doing some magical attacks, everybody kind of contributed as best they could to eventually take this creature down. It only ended up scoring, I think, one hit on Tavern and didn't actually hit anybody else. However, that single hit did almost 50% of Tavern's health, or somewhere right about there. So pretty obviously a very dangerous foe had it been able to strike more often, but luckily Tavern was pretty quick on his feet. So with the creature destroyed, it actually exploded, you might think of it this, but not in like a concussive kind of way, more or less like a release of energy. It was very bright, kind of very loud, and echoed out in this area. And when this result was complete, lying on the ground was like a folded up robe with piles of eyeballs on them. The eyeballs themselves had these little trails of magic seemingly wisping away from them, and you could see these just faintly for a moment. After deciding to collect some of these eyeballs, you realize that some of the eyes, in fact, were not actually eyeballs. They were images or depictions on this robe of eyes as well. So after collecting the eyes and then using an identify spell, thanks to Celine's magic on the robe, it was determined to be a robe of eyes, which is a very potent magic item that gives its wearer some additional visual information and magically see through darkness and some other interesting little tidbits, which there is a handout for those of you that haven't had a chance to see that quite yet. But with that complete, you guys then were able to exit the structure without any problem. Previously, the door was sealed. So now with the creature's demise, the door was no longer sealed. You were able to exit, fill Dwally and the rest of the expedition in on what happened. And Dwally and his team decided to enter the structure, kind of scope things out, and are kind of just looking around, seeing if they find anything of interest. And that is where we left off. So yeah, team is still down in that area. Dean's got his 2 swarms of bees that he conjured up. And they're kind of, I believe you guys had decided maybe potentially take a short rest here right when we were quitting. So yeah, that's my recap of last session, folks. If there's anything I missed that you would like to add, feel free to do so.
Not inspiration worthy at all, but since Blixel was gone, I will let him, I would like to let him know if he didn't have a chance to listen. I just want to say public appreciation for him taking all those hits for the rest of the team.
Oh, no problem.
You did a great job being a sponge.
All right, yes, Blixel did manage to heal himself a bit and get some healing, I think, from maybe Dian as well. So not nearly as close to death as he used to be. But if there's nothing else to add, then, of course, inspiration will go to Saline for another great entry in her journal. Other than that, however, let's go ahead and get the team back over to where we left off, and I'm going to go ahead and dish out a card for everyone.
All right. Are we thinking of a short rest, everyone?
Yeah, I'm more than thinking of it. I'm already taking it. My head hurts.
Okay. Well, before we short rest, Adam, I would like to use my second win.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and click that on your sheet to burn its usage.
Cool. +9. While we're resting, I think, because we're all down here, we have to go up, because we're not going to the lava, right? Turn and look at everybody.
I don't know. Some of you wanted to go down to the lava, right?
No, yeah, I don't want to.
Nah, not today.
I think it's a circle back thing. Like,
We were talked out of it.
well, it raises some good points. There's like 15 of us. You know what I mean? So all of us shimmying down that rope is a lot, so.
So what's the other route we're gonna take?
It's not much of a route. It's, we go north and fight off the Orogs and see what's that way. We also have that other chamber that Alice went down. Did not see anything.
Okay, but let's just make sure that I'm on the front. They have elf-seeking arrows.
All right, guys. So anything in particular that you're wanting to do during your short rest here, other than just take it easy for about an hour or so?
I'd like to attune to the robe if I can.
Yes, you will certainly be able to do so.
Cool.
Okay, hearing nothing else, I will go ahead and click a short rest for you guys. I believe the bees would go away at that point, correct? Because they're an hour duration.
That's correct.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get rid of those guys. Go ahead and reduce your short rest by 1 if you took one, and that way I will apply it to you. And appreciate you guys already typing in what you're taking there. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, so it looks like 4 of you took one, so I'm applying the 4. Tabbert, I think you said you wanted to take one, right?
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, he's already rolling hit dice.
I was rolling the hit dice. I wrote HP in the chat. I just did the rolls first before I changed the thing.
Yep,
So just-
no worries. Just want to make sure I got you. All right, so that's 5, and then Blixel, you're not taking one, just to confirm.
I see he put up their short rest hit points at him.
Okay, yep, so go ahead and reduce your display by 1, and I'm going to go ahead and click that for you as well. Okay, so everybody will have taken a short rest here, and Dean, yes, you have attuned. I'm sure, again, it's just a reminder, since you guys are getting a bit more magic items, there is a limit of 3 attuned items. I don't think anybody's there yet, but just putting that reminder out there. And let me go ahead and update your token to represent the additional vision that you get from the robe.
It's a pretty sick robe.
Okay, so as the hour passes, you see the rest of the expedition moving backwards and forward after you let them know that you're going to be taking a little bit of a breather here. They seem to be okay with that, with most of them being inside the structure for the bulk of this short rest, kind of examining it, putting hands to the walls, conferring with one another. You hear a lot of the language of Caramel, the dwarven language, going back and forth, as the bulk of them are, of course, dwarves. Between Alice and Griffin, you see the two of them kind of touch base with one another, discussing like next moves, that sort of thing. even though you guys have already decided you're not going to head down to the lava quite yet, because 80 feet down is quite dangerous, you also hear both Griffin and Alice having a similar conversation of, well, which way makes the most sense, and they're very much against the idea of going down at this point, just because, what could happen. All right, so once you guys have had a chance to update your tokens with everything you need, let me know what your plan is to do next.
Hey, Adam, what's the condition of the to the north? If I missed it, I'm sorry.
That looks like it probably was an open path at one point in time, but this rubble, which you'll notice is to the east, which is these kind of like collapsed stone or cobblestone plinths or towers, whatever they were, that passageway to the north looks like it is completely filled and impassable due to that rubble.
I walk over and hit it with Shipwrecker and see if that unlocks the path.
Roll me a d20, Serena. No, it's pretty solid. You smack into a shipwrecker, but yeah, it doesn't really do anything.
Doesn't Shipwrecker have like a siege bonus? Yeah. If the target is an object or structure, it takes the maximum piercing damage from the weapon instead of rolling its weapon damage die. Does it still, even though
It does
does
not seem to have any effect.
Mm.
So again, don't think of this as like a door that you're batting down. Think of this as an open area that is filled with tonnage of rubble. So if you pierce into it, yeah, you might move a few pieces of the rubble, but it certainly doesn't break through, tons of rubble to open a path.
I tried.
Alright, well, we have 3 options. Option A, a group of us go and take out more of those ore rogs to the north. Option B, we circle back and go down that long tunnel. And option C, of course, is lava land, which I don't think any of us are going to do.
I vote for Orog.
Yeah, are we worried about them coming up behind us again? Or
Not if we take them out.
They're just fun to kill.
yeah, let's get some revenge.
Hey, Adam, I'm gonna look down this hole here with my new eyesight. Do I see anything different? Anything in the ethereal plane, invisible creatures, or anything like that down there?
Nope. Again, it is lava about 80 feet down where you see that bridge. So the lava itself is probably more like 100 feet down. The lava is fairly bright. So nearby, within 20, 30 feet of the lava, you could already see even without the benefits of the cloak. So you don't notice anything different, just kind of looking down. But go ahead and throw me a blind check as you're just kind of spending some time here scanning the area. Yeah, nope. Nothing out of the ordinary that you haven't already seen.
It says it's hard. I don't know if I need to remind you constantly, or I don't know how to put it in there, but I have advantage on wisdom perception checks that we rely on site now. So I don't know if we could remember that, or do you want me to remind you?
Yeah, good call. So with the blind checks, you know what? Maybe try to put it in your display. Just put like AD on perp, and that will know. It's a trigger for me to remember.
Oh yeah.
If we're planning to fight the Orogs, this would be a good spot for the expedition to lay low while we clear them out.
Yeah, you guys all gonna be okay? I'm not gonna protect you anymore.
We should be fine. Do we need to? We're climbing up. Is that and going to go just clear the way of these beasts?
I think it's best. They know we're here. We don't want them hunting us. Except we don't know how many there are. So maybe not a blind charge again. See if we can sneak on them.
You said you found a bunch of eyeballs and stuff?
Yeah. So I have a handful of eyeballs, or maybe more.
Hold on to those. Because we know a guy that's missing his eyes.
Well, he's dead now. I thought so too, but I forgot.
Oh, a different guy. Well, I assume he's missing his eyes.
Oh,
He's
the
called the
eyeless.
eyeless one.
Yeah, good call.
Maybe he lost some.
Maybe he created that monster.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he takes them. I don't know.
Can any of you scale walls?
I'm sure the monk can, right?
I can't really scale walls. I mean, I'm pretty good at climbing, but scaling kind of. I mean, I guess so.
Great. I'll look at you and pat you on the shoulder. Right up there.
Now, just are you wanting me to climb the rope? Is that what you're looking for? Or I don't know what wall you're talking about.
Okay. When we came down here, we lowered a rope, and then Thorn untied the rope and dropped down to the ground so that we hid the rope. So now we need to get back up. So we need to bring a rope to the top, tie it down, and then we.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot we dropped the rope. Yeah, I'll go ahead. Yeah, you know what? I tell you, that looks pretty simple. Of course.
All right, so to try to paint a picture here for you real quick, where Thorn is currently standing, if he looks directly up from the ground to where the ridge is, so the hole in the ceiling is 20 feet. Okay, so basically you're looking at, if you could obviously jump 20 feet or something like that, you'd be fine. But to climb, you would have to climb the wall like east of Thorn, and then you would get to a point where you're no longer truly vertical. You're having to climb essentially upside down to try to get to the hole. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so let's do the pyramid thing that happens at cheerleading more. I think that'll be easier.
Yeah, I can hold you up. Get on my shoulders.
And
then I get on yours, Thorn.
Okay. That sounds if you're scared of climbing, Tavard, I'm a pretty
I'm
fair
not scared
climber.
of climbing. I'm just thinking it might be easier. Who said I was scared of anything?
I heard the Orog said that stuff. They're taking out
I want to go knock their heads out.
I'll just throw you up there.
That's offensive.
Hey, Tavard, I don't think you could do it. I don't think you could scale that.
Okay, I'll try.
Just be careful because we don't know if the Orogs have repositioned themselves.
Either I'm scared or I need to be careful. Which one is it? Come on, let's do it.
I was just going to say they may have taken up positions where they can spot anyone coming out of the hole, so you'll be alone up there if they're watching.
I'll toss them down here so you can have a couple of them.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm quite sure, and he'll like lift his axe and point it at Dean. You're a druid. Can't you turn into a bat or something?
I can't fly. I'm not that special, not that talented. I'm not that talented yet. But I could scurry up. Remember the spider move? That'd be no problem.
So do you want me to try to climb the wall, or
No.
spider leg's gonna do it?
If I do it, then I could scout around and see what's going on. So yeah. I don't mind burning a wild shape on that. That's cool. Druid stuff. Yeah.
Out of character, if you have rope on you, when you shift, you'll have rope still. So when you're done doing your scout and come back and pop out, you'll still have your rope, right?
Or I can just come down and yeah, no, yeah, I need rope now. I think I have an explorer's pack. Yeah, I do. There's rope in there, right?
Should be 50 feet.
Yeah, I have it. Explorer's pack.
If not, I've got rope.
All right,
I've
that
got
sounds
50
fun.
feet of silk rope.
Ooh, that's even better, right? Because I'm a spider. See what you did there. All right,
Caught me nicked off.
I'd like to turn to a silk spider, Adam, and skim me up the walls. And when I get up there, I'm gonna take a look around and see if I could see what's going on. Maybe peek around that corner and then pop out and tie the rope and descend it down.
Okay, so since you described it like that, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. So you turn into a spider, you climb up, you don't see anything out of the ordinary, you scout around the chamber, you don't see anything out of the ordinary, you then unshape and find yourself above.
Oh, I thought he was like going to scout up where the Orogs were. I thought that was the plan. Maybe we should have specified what scouting was.
No, yeah, I'm just gonna look around that corner, Adam, in spider form still.
You did not see anything around the corner.
Okay, yeah, so it looks fine. So then I'll tie the rope and I'll send it down.
Okay, now when you say tie the rope, you're tying it to like the rock. Okay, perfect. All right, the rope dangles down. So again, this is only 20 feet. You got 50 feet of rope. You know, tie it might take 5 feet, 10 feet down, 20. Yeah, so you got plenty of rope that's dangling down. There's probably like 20 additional feet coiled on the ground down below.
Can I finally climb up the rope now?
Thorn will go too, Adam.
I'm sorry. So Thorn, you're trying to climb?
Yeah, Thorn will go ahead and go.
Okay, so go ahead and Dean, throw me a blind check, and then Thorn, throw me a blind check as well.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Perfect. All right, I will
Serena
do
is
so.
next.
I don't know if athlete gives me advantage. Nope, it just means it doesn't cost extra movement. Okay, here we go. Adam, if I fail, will you let me know so I can use a luck point, or do
I
just
will.
do that before?
No, I can tell you if you fail.
Oop, double clicked it. Sorry.
Oh, that second one was really bad. Okay, yeah, you climb up, no problem.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll turn around and grab the rope and hold on to it and kind of help people belay up. Extra support.
Serena wants to go next. She doesn't want Taver to get all the Orogs.
Okay, Serena, go ahead and throw a blind check.
Up yet. My gosh.
You also have no problem climbing up, Serena.
I keep pushing Tavert away from the rope.
Tavern, not to be knocked out, he climbs up quickly.
We all know what's about to happen.
I'm holding and pulling, trying to make sure you've got some kind of advantage or something. I would
Shockingly,
like
Saline, you have no problem at all climbing this rope like a natural.
Oh yeah.
Like a natural.
She's gotten so much practice now.
Yep, Blixel, same thing. No issues. You're able to climb it up without any problems.
We're not level 1 against the tree anymore.
We've come so far.
I'm going to take my rope, Adam, and put it in my backpack.
And I just want to clarify. So the rest of the expedition's still down below, and you're removing the rope?
No.
I was going to say, you might hear some panics from down below.
Nah, we're leaving. This is our expedition now.
Yeah, oh, wait. I'm sorry.
All right, so are you guys wanting them to climb up, or you're wanting them to wait down below until you come back and tell them that things are good?
I think we're going to let them hang out there while we kill these things.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
Might be best if they at least come here and wait here, though.
Yeah,
just in case someone cuts the rope on them.
Yeah, I prefer them up here. Then we're kind of cornered here, and we know what's below. We don't know what's going to come out of that lava crack. Who knows? So let's bring them up here. I suggest we bring them up here and wait here while we do what we need to do. That's my vote.
Oh, sure. Is it safe up here? I'm a little turned around in this place.
Yeah, so we think,
Safer, I think.
Blixel, we think that, not that we think, but this way is back the way we came, right? But this way we saw Orogs go up, and then it does like a left bend this way. So we haven't been that far up there yet.
Okay.
But we think, well, not think, we know that there's more Orogs that way because we heard them.
Okay, so as you guys communicate down below that you'd like the expedition to head up here and just be ready while you guys kind of push a little bit further on, they all get allayed and start discussing with one another in order, that kind of thing. And I'll ask each one of you guys to roll me a 2d20 to represent one at a time. We'll see how everybody does climbing back up. Okay, so Dian Jocelyn is able to get up no problem. Thorn Alice gets up no problem. All right, Tabard Griffin gets up no problem. Blixel Dezans gets up no problem. Saline Banane gets up no problem. Okay, so let's see. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You looks like Serena. Throw 2d20, please. Okay, so this is Orem, and he is also able to climb up. He's a little bit slower, doesn't do quite as well, but doesn't fall and is able to get to the top. All right, so we just have 3 left, so whoever would like to throw 2d20, I'll just take the first 3 I see. Okay, let's see. Yep, so that Umrag is able to get up no problem, and Ruckard is able to get up no problem. One last one for Dwali, the Expedite. Yeah, able to get up no problem. So, all right. You guys have conquered the rope issue without any fallings whatsoever.
It's rare. We need to timestamp it.
And I'll get my rope again now. Is that everybody? Then I'll take my rope.
You have leveled up.
All right, and the expedition kind of just meanders here, looking and talking with one another a little quietly as you guys decide where to go.
All right, so I could see, just so everyone kind of knows, I can now see 120 feet in invisible and ethereal. So I might get a longer view. This tunnel goes to the north, and it kind of yawns to the northeast a little bit. I see no threats ahead.
Let's go find some threats.
Well said. Why don't you and what's his name, Tabard, Tabard's our spy. Go have a look and see what's around the corner.
Are you sure you want me to? Last time you guys said, hey, why don't you do this, Tavern? You guys like, no, never mind. Take your backs. Are we going up stealthily?
Yes, we are.
I don't think anybody needs light to see right now, so we can definitely be a lot more quiet.
Okay, so Serena and Tavard, if you're trying to be stealthily here, go ahead and throw me blind checks.
Of course, I got chainmail, so Thorn is definitely not quiet.
Okay, you guys are moving quietly as you can. Serena, as you bend around that corner there of the rocky wall, you notice what looks like several piles of rocks. These rocks that you've spotted before that made up the barricades from the southeast, they have been piled here from floor to ceiling of this tunnel. It looks like the passage has been blocked off.
You guys said they went this way?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're scared.
They should be.
We could go ask our dwarven friends to come up and help us move all this rock.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go where we came from just real quick, just to take a look and see
Let me go with
if
you.
they
I
doubled
understand.
back.
Yeah.
Adam, can I put my hand against the rock wall and kind of give it a push? Does it seem real sturdy, or does it seem quick and hastily done?
Give me a blind check there, Thorn.
I'll push on it rather hard.
Yeah, you can tell that you certainly won't be able to push this over, but you think if you just started pulling rocks off one at a time and throwing them behind you, eventually, yeah, you would make an opening.
It looks clear, Tavern. I can see all the way down to the bottom.
I look back at Serena and say, it's not really well done. I mean, we could move these rather quickly.
Well, when you say rather
Right.
quickly, you're only seeing how many you see. You don't know how deep the rocks are, so you could probably clear what you see in 20 minutes, maybe, but however much is beyond that, you don't know.
We're confident. This is easy.
Yeah, but I think we should ask those dwarves, or else they'll get upset they didn't get to participate in moving rocks. Us dwarves like moving rocks. It's
You
our
say so.
jam.
We could have used them back on the farm.
The only thing is, once we open a hole or whatever, I'm sure we can guarantee Orogs sitting on the other side shooting arrows at us.
We'll open up a little slot or whatever. When we get close, we'll have them move back for safety. Good point.
What we could do is we could circle around ourselves. We know there's another tunnel.
I understand if you're afraid of some hard work. Yeah, we could do with that too, I guess.
Well, from what we see, all of these tunnels seem to be connected in some way.
It doesn't seem like they have any intention of coming back through this way if they've committed this much effort to stopping us, so I think we can safely assume that they won't be coming up behind us, at least not anytime soon.
Well, I'll stay back here, file my nails, and see if see if anyone comes on our side as we work to dig out.
I think what Thorn is suggesting is that we go back to the chamber with the fungi and follow the path that Alice found.
Right. But if you want to go dig through here, I'll keep an eye out because they might connect. He's right, and they might say, hey, they're trying to dig in through here. Let's go corner them right now. And so I'm just going to keep an eye. Whatever you guys want to do, it doesn't matter to me. But I'll keep an eye out on our backside.
Yeah, I'm good either way. If you want to, if we want to scout around the other side, that's fine. As long as I get to hit him in the head.
Yeah, we can go. Let's go back around. It's fine with me.
Well, I'm just saying, if we start digging, they know where we are.
And they'll definitely have someone, at least a few watchers, to know that it's happening, so however long it takes, they're going to be very well prepared for us.
I'm not scared.
I'm gonna tell the dwarves what's going on. Yeah, it looks like they got up above there, blocked off pretty good. So we think it's best to go around and check out that other passageway. So.
All right, as you say this, Wally looks towards you and says, "Oh, just like the Orogs are trying to block the path. They don't want a fair fight."
They're afraid of the dwarfs that are here. That's what I'm sure about.
All right, so as you guys make your way back the way that you came, you will, of course, run into that area of difficult terrain as that ground there is all turned over. Other than just making your way back, and I assume you're asking the expedition to follow you at this point, anything special other than just making your way back? Okay, hearing nothing then, I'll go ahead and say you can stop moving your tokens. I'm going to put everybody down on this side, and I'm going to assume you guys have made it to this point, and then you make your way back into the tunnels without issue. So I'm just going to put you guys all over in this area to make it easy. Okay, and then I'm going to move you guys back over to our tunnel wallpaper. Okay, so as a reminder, this is a little bit difficult to visualize, but you guys came through that fungus-strewn cavern. You passed that, and then you found eventually 2 branching ways to go. The one you went is the one you guys are coming back now. So right now, there's one way that you haven't gone. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that's the way you're taking, right?
Yes.
Yep. We know Alice, from what Alice said, that it goes on for a distance, and she didn't go all the way. She just turned around and came back, so.
Correct. Okay, so I will ask then, I don't know where we left off, so let's just start with Tavard. Tavard, roll me a D100, please.
I've been rolling really high lately, Adam. Hope you're ready for this.
Leave it to you to roll like a 99 or 100 or 1.
26.
We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take
Hey,
it.
hey, if I rolled a 1d20, that'd be pretty high.
Okay, so you guys make your way down this passage, and it goes for a good distance. You travel 60 feet, 100 feet, 150 feet or more. You're kind of roughly gauging this as you do so. As you're traversing these cavern tunnels, give me an idea of like your marching order. Is it all the player characters in front, expedition in back, or how are you guys wanting to do this?
I think we'd be in front and they'd be behind, and I want to be at least in the middle so I can use my new vision, all that stuff.
Thorn will
Serena's
be
trying to
behind
be
the pack.
first.
So let's just do one at a time. Let's start with Tavard. So Tavard, are you like front, middle? Give me an idea.
I'm at least in the front 3.
Okay, and then Thorn, where would you like to be?
Thorn is behind the expedition, so he's the tail end, the caboose, and he's watching our ass.
Okay, perfect. Dean, you said you want to be in the middle. Got that. Saline, how about you?
Well, in the middle of the PCs.
Oh, middle. Okay, so middle front then is what I'm going to interpret that.
Yes.
Okay.
I am, of course, the squishy mage is in the back of the PC group.
Okay, and then Serena?
She's trying to be first.
I haven't heard anybody else say they want to be first, so you got it. All right, Blixel, how about you?
Back front with Celine.
Okay, so you're with Saline. Okay, got it. All right, so just again, this is a rough estimation then. We basically have it as like Serena, Tavard, then Dean, then Saline, then Blixel, then all of the expedition, then Thorn. Okay.
Okay. That's right.
And I would say too that I'm expecting us to at least be trying to be stealthy.
You can certainly try, but remember, you're an expedition, so you've got a whole bunch of people that aren't good at being stealthy, particularly the dwarves. So you guys are making your way through. If you ask them to try to move quietly, you can assume that they move slower, but whether or not that's actually quiet, you're not very confident.
All right. Sounds fair enough.
Okay, so as you guys are moving through with this rough order, I'm going to ask... Actually, I'm going to roll this as a group check. I think this would be faster and easier.
Gonna play my pass all group checks card.
Okay, so actually, almost everybody rolled really, really well on this, which is rare. So congratulations, everybody. So what occurs here is as you guys are making your way down, there hasn't been any oddities so far. There's only one, basically one path that you are following. You pass through this one tunnel. It's a little bit jagged in the way it goes. It turns to the south, but you see like a ridge. You see like a little alcove. You're kind of started following that to the south when Thorn, you being in the caboose, you see right off the bat as though this thing is trying to be quiet or trying to avoid being detected, but you are able to spot it. And as you spot it, you notice that Tavard, Dean, Saline, and Blixel, all of you spot this as well. Serena, you're in the front, and you're like, yeah, I'm in the front. And you don't really notice what's going on here. But, you notice as you guys are making your way back past this this area here, Thorin, you notice a tentacle actually comes down from this ridge that you're kind of close by, and it is like reaching down, trying to grab you. You get this impression that had you not noticed it, very bad things may have happened, and you might not have been able to even react quickly enough. But since you did notice it, I'm going to move us over to a different map. All right, just doing a quick double check. I always do a double check now with new maps to make sure somehow the walls are on, of course. All right, here we go. Okay, so you guys have just come from the northwest. This is your expedition and the rough order that you guys said. So as you're making your way and kind of following this path down here, Thorn, you spot this tentacle coming from up atop this ridge. This ridge is like 10 feet up. When you see this tentacle, I'm going to go ahead and put us all into initiative order.
Can I get vision added on this map, Adam?
What do you currently have? Torch?
No, I have dark vision that Dean cast on me, so I'm not quite sure how long it's been since we've been in here, but he's had it since we cut the head off of that.
It's
Or
8
rock.
hours.
Dark vision lasts 8 hours. You should be good.
Yep. I went ahead and applied dark vision, so you should be all set. Okay, so
Little eyeball on.
all right, I'm going to go ahead and put us into initiative order here.
And if you don't mind, could you show me one more time? You said it was from this direction?
Yeah, straight to your north. Okay, and then for the NPCs, since most of them aren't going to fight unless they're forced to, I'm going to simply add Dwali to represent their efforts. And it's mostly, you can assume, unless you arrange something different, they're going to do what they can to try to get out of the way of things. But yes, essentially everybody except for Serena is acting normally here. So Tavern, you spot this as well from where you're currently standing. You would see it actually come down from this northern area. It kind of comes down like this, reaching out towards Thorn. You see it just as it crests this rocky like hill-ish area. Again, it's 10 feet up off the ground. You see this tentacle kind of come down a bit. You spot it. You're the first to react. Feel free to take your turn.
About how long is the tentacle?
How much of the tentacle you can see right now is about 3 feet, but how much is behind there, you have no idea.
All right. I'm going to say, I don't know what that beast is, but let's just get out of the way for right now. I'm going to come right there, and I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay. Okay, next up is Blixel.
Okay. Blixel is going to move up here. And so we can't see what the tentacle is connected to?
You cannot, because that is 10 feet up, and whatever it's connected to, maybe it's laying flat, maybe it's hard to say, but yes, all you see is the tentacle.
I go, you call that a tentacle? That's sad, man. Vicious mockery.
The tiny tentacle.
Yes, this seemingly affects the tentacle. Go ahead and post that.
He mocked it.
Tentacle shaming.
All right, maybe you see the tentacle just kind of spasms momentarily.
And yeah, I guess that's the end of my turn. I don't want to get too close.
Okay, Dean.
All right, I'm gonna see what's going on there. I'm gonna take a little peek around this corner to see if we're trapped. So 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna go 25 to there at him, and then I'm going to take a dodge action. I'm gonna say, I don't see any dangers to the south. Looks clear down here.
Okay, Thorn is up next.
I just lost all my vision. I don't know what happened.
All right,
Maybe if
one
I
second.
refresh. Okay.
All right, should be good now.
Yep. All right. Seeing that, we definitely these expedition members to get attacked. So Thorn's gonna go to here, and he is going to pull out his battle axe, and he's gonna ready a swipe. If one of the tentacles comes and tries to grab him, he's just gonna attack the tentacle, try to cut it.
Okay. Okay, Saline.
Can I still see the tentacle?
Yes, it hasn't acted yet, so it is still hanging about 3 feet down from that ridge.
And if would it have cover if I were to even like back up? Like how high is the ridge you said? 10 feet?
10 feet, yep.
Okay. So it might be a tricky shot to try to get over. But I do have Sacred Flame, so that doesn't care about cover. So let's try Sacred Flaming the tentacle. Try to deter it from touching the team or any of the expedition as well. Try to get rid of it before it can do that.
Okay, spell effect roll.
Nope.
Actually, that will be...
that.
Okay, I was going to say that would be a fumble, but yeah, go ahead and burn a luck point. Okay, so that gives you a 20 spell effect roll against Dex. Yes, that will indeed affect this tentacle. So that was 13 points of radiant damage. Once again, you see the tentacle is definitely reacting to the damage.
All right, and then I have movement. Dean said it was safe over here, so I'm going to back up 5, 10, 15. I don't know if I can quite get in this space, but I'm going to try to tuck myself into this little alcove and hope it doesn't have a bead on me from over here.
I would call that squeezing. So if you're good there, again, attacks against you would be at advantage, and you would have disadvantage on attacks you.
I'm not good here. What about the space above me? Is that a little wider?
I would still call it squeeze. You basically need to have more than 50% of the square free. Okay, Serena out front. You notice your team reacting. What do you do?
I'm like, what's all the fuss about? And
There's a tentacle attacking us from behind. Everything in the south looks clear.
attacking? Hasn't attacked you guys yet.
Well, it did try to grab me.
Oh. In that case, I'll throw a dart at it. No, a javelin.
Throw a javelin. Okay, sure. Let's see it. All right, you throw the javelin through the air, and it strikes the rock wall and not the tentacle.
Attack.
All right, so remember with javelins, you have to draw one each time. So unless you had a javelin in hand to start, you can't throw two in a round.
Oh, is that the same with darts?
It is, yep.
Well, bummer. Ranged is not my strong suit. Which wall is it? Now that I can see.
Where the tentacle's at?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna wait. Where was I? Shoot.
You were right next to Celine.
Yep, so you've moved 15 so far. Okay, you will notice the tentacle retracts going back above the ledge. Everybody except for Tavard, Saline, and Dian, so everybody in that block of folks, you all get this strange sensation. You know how, like, when suddenly a sneeze comes on and then you catch it and you don't actually sneeze? Think of it like that. Each of you is, like, affected at this at the same moment, and all of you kind of are looking around, realizing that something happened, but you're not sure what it is.
I was gonna ask to play my card, but now I'm not sure if it applies.
Well, if it says like when somebody attacks or something like that, then it would not apply. But let me double check your card.
It's when enemy attacks. So
yeah, this is
cool.
not an attack. Yep. Okay, so none of you see anything out of the ordinary. However, Dian, you do see something out of the ordinary as you realize an invisible flying creature has entered your line of sight. So I'm gonna show you what this looks like in one moment.
So glad you
the robe's paying off already.
All right, I just sent this to you in Discord. This is what it looks like. It is invisible. It is large size, and it is flying to your northeast. Again, now what I'm going to say is nobody else knows where this is, so do your best not to metagame. But Dian, you see it floating in the air in this area here. Whoop, you can't see that. One moment. You see it floating in the air in this space here. Okay, on Dwali's turn, the expedition begins to move to the south as they try to get to somewhere that's a bit safer-ish, perhaps. So they're going to each move and dash down this way. And I realized that both Griffin and Alice weren't represented there, so I'm going to put those guys on at this point. Okay, we are at the top of round 2, Tavern.
All right.
Can I say something at the top of the round, Adam?
Yep, you're allowed to speak out of turn, yeah.
Okay, now I missed where you were pinging, but I'm just going to point to it. He's invisible flying right there, and I'm going to point to the direction, but I'll just say that. I don't know if you allow me to give a general north whatever direction.
So what I'll say is, Thorn, you can't see Dian, so you have no idea.
Maybe Celine,
I would hope so. I'm literally right next to you.
The rest of you can see Dian. He's pointing to his northeast. Okay, Tabard.
All right, I'm just gonna take the dodge action. I don't know what else to do right now. So with my trusty father's warhammer that bounced off the statue, I've got it in hand, but I'm taking the dodge action.
Okay, you dodge, and we move next. If that's the end of your turn, go ahead and end your turn. And next up would be Blixel.
Yeah, I thought I did end my turn, just to let you know in case things are... It worked that time, but just in case.
Quick question. I have the racial ability to cast Fairy Fire. That doesn't enable me to cast the spell using my own spell slots, though, correct?
I think it does, yeah. Let me do a quick double check.
Because I used that already, the racial one, so I'm not sure if I can do it. It says I can cast Fairy Fire spell once with this trait, but
So technically, you're considered a half drow, right?
yep.
And I'm trying to remember what book half drow comes from, because I'm not seeing it right when I search my compendium.
I mean, I have it on my sheet under my Fey ancestry for Drow magic. Sorry, Drow magic.
Okay, so if it's the drow magic feature, then that should be the same. So I'll just look up drow magic feature. One moment. So I think so if this comes from the PHB, when the PHB was written, it didn't say that. I feel like they added it later. But so for now, I'm just going to say, yeah, you can cast it with your own spells. We'll do a double check after.
Okay, cool. So yes, I am going to do Fairy Fire in the area that Dean was pointing to.
So he's pointing to his northeast. So you decide where you think that is.
So I didn't mean to move. I'm trying to get. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm sorry, Celine. I'm gonna cast it here.
All right, and then since Salene's in that area, Salene, go ahead and throw a dex save, and Blixel throw a spell effect roll, please.
Oh, do you want me to just do the trigger all thing, or will it not affect it because it's invisible?
Not trigger all, because Salene gets to roll her own save, and we don't want it to auto apply against Salene.
Okay.
She's fine, I think.
Well, we got to see
Unless
that
you've got
spell
a
effect.
godly spell.
So,
then I'm gonna...
hang on 1 second. So you'll notice that you threw that spell effect roll as the AoE control token, so it's not adding in your modifier. You rolled a 19 plus whatever your plus is, so that's definitely going to affect Salene. So Salene, you are fairy fired. Okay, so I'm going to put that on it. Nothing else either makes a save or fails a save, is what I will say.
Okay. And then if I don't see anything else get lit up with it, I'm just going to cancel the effect then, so she's not dealing with it.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and burn that spell slot so that one is gone, and we will remove the fairy fire from Salene.
And then, seeing as that he pointed that out, I'm going to move away from where he said the invisible thing is. Move to here. And I'll end my turn.
Okay, Dean.
All right. So how far away is he from me, Adam, that I can see?
Doing a quick calculation, he's 45 feet away from you. He is flying. He's up in the air. He's like 15 feet off the ground, but 45 feet northeast of you.
All right. I gotta move 15, 5, 10, 15. Can I see him? I want to get within 30. I'm gonna fire it. Fire my produce flame.
Yes, you are within 30.
I'm like, he's right here.
Yes, your produced flame does indeed crash into him and seems to scorch him.
Can we see where the scorch is?
You see the fire fly through the air. It flies up in this direction. Let me turn this back on. It flies up in this direction, hits something. You're not sure. You don't see what it hits, but you see the fire goes out momentarily.
I'm assuming it's up in the air. How high?
Yep, it's about 15 feet up in the air.
Okay. That's my. I still can move, so I'm gonna go 5, 10 to there, and then I will end my turn. At least you have an idea where he's at.
Yeah, it was great. Without that freaking robe, we wouldn't even have seen it. All right, Adam. I'm kind of realizing now no one ever plays a fighter. I am gonna
I
pull up
miss
here.
Gale. What are you talking about?
I mean, I just feel like every battle we've been in, except the one with the orcs, have been he's been pretty pointless. And he's just gonna stand here, Adam. He's got his battle axe and his shield. He's just gonna wait. If anything comes and attacks either him or Serena in range, he's just gonna take a swing at it.
Okay. So you're ready in your action. Okay, Saline, your turn.
All right, I saw where his fire ended, I think. How tall is this thing in front of me?
Tall enough that it blocks your vision if you're close to it. So where you're at now, I would say you could see around it. Yeah.
Sure. If I saw where the fire impacted into, I will cast Shatter up in the air. Trying not to hit my friends, but trying to encompass that area where Dian launched off his little spell.
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead and use Smart AoE for that.
So around about there is where I saw the fire tucker out.
You think that radius will certainly encompass the area that you saw get hit, yes?
All right. And none of my friends are in the area. The whole expedition came down this way. Let me just count heads real quick. 3, 6, 9. That sounds appropriate. So we're going to hit a trigger roll here.
Okay, so it explodes in that area, makes a loud noise, and that's all you know.
All right. And then I will, I suppose, back up one space.
And I will have you roll me a d20 as well. Okay.
That's all I can do.
Okay, Serena.
Am I able to hear like the noises that they're making?
Your companions?
Yeah, like fairy firing and all that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, nothing is quieted, so you hear everything full blast.
I'm like, I assume I haven't seen any more movement up here, right?
You have not.
And I'm gonna say, you guys got this. And I'm gonna say, where's it at? Couldn't see. And still can.
Northeast in that corner.
Wait, so the opposite direction I just ran is north?
Yeah, I'm gonna, Adam, since we've had some, I'm just gonna point. He's up here somewhere.
Oh my god.
That's where we've been firing to produce flame and shatter.
Oh, I thought I couldn't see it.
Ian can see it. which is
It's
Well, I mean, I
invisible.
couldn't see because it was dark. Dang it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hold an action. If I see an enemy, I'll pull out a javelin. Because presumably it's not gonna appear next to me, and I'll hold my action to throw a javelin.
Okay. You hold your action to throw a javelin if you see a creature. Okay. Thorn, Blixel, Tavern, Serena, and Dian. Once again, you feel this strange sensation as though like you have to sneeze, but it goes away. And in its place, you see a huge cloud of fog suddenly emerges. Everything within this area is filled with fog. Within this fog, it is considered heavily obscured, so you can think of this as though you are blinded in this area. Okay, the expedition remains where it is, and you can hear a lot of nervous chatter coming from down there, and both Griffin and Alice take the front part of the other side, like making sure nothing's coming from the southeast. We move to the top of the next round with Tavern.
All right. Yeah. This is why I never play a monk, because there's no, just kidding.
Just get to the south. Just
yeah,
get to the south.
I'm gonna go ahead because I'm obscured at him, but I know where the wall is, So I'm gonna try to walk the wall. If that
Okay.
makes-
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, you could do that at normal speed.
Bump into.
I'm gonna go ahead and just stop there, and I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay, you dodge. Blixel.
Okay. Blixel's gonna run. Also try to find a wall to hold on to and see if he can get his way out of here.
All right, as you step, just before you step there, Blixel, you are attacked through an opportunity attack. I will need you to make a defense roll at disadvantage.
I'm gonna do telekinetic parry on that.
Go ahead and post that one for me. Okay, yeah, that'll cancel it out, so this will be a straight up attack then. Yeah, so as you're moving here, you feel this tentacle like come apart your shoulder, and using that telekinetic parry, you blast it backwards enough that it does not connect.
There's tentacles in this fog! And I will. Yeah. I can't see anything, so wait, no, I can't see anything, so I can't do that. I'm gonna hold an action to strike with my sword anything that I see, any enemy that comes out of the fog at me.
All right, and just to confirm, I'm assuming right now you have sword in one hand and then your other hand's free, right?
No, two swords.
Okay, so telekinetic parry requires a somatic action, which is a free hand. Do you have some ability that makes you able to do that with a sword in each hand?
I mean, I can use a one of my swords is a focus. Does that work for that?
I don't think so, because I think that only helps you that spells that have somatic and material components, because then you can use the material component to do both. If it's just somatic, you have to have a free hand.
Okay.
Unless you have some special ability that says otherwise.
Yeah, but wouldn't the somatic action of a telekinetic parry be the parry?
So, yeah, but you're thinking of like a physical parry. This is like you motion with your hand and you push it back, almost like a force push is how I'm visualizing it.
Okay, so in that case, I guess I just have one sword.
Okay, that works. Okay, and sorry, remind me what you readied an action to attack if you saw the creature, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
with the mockingbird.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Dian, you are now in fog, which unfortunately your robe does not help you against. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move right back where I knew I was, so I'm safely moved there. And I'm gonna tell Expedition everyone, keep going, move further south on your turn. Clear this hallway, and then I'm gonna stay here, ready my produce flame if I see an enemy.
Okay. All right, Thorn.
Thorn is just going to make his way out of the fog. Ready in action if anything attacks him.
Okay, Saline.
Alright, hearing Dian's direction and not necessarily wanting these guys to go off on their own into uncharted territory, she is going to back up a little bit just to try to be able to cover both sides a little bit. So we're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 to here. And dodging doesn't work against invisible targets because you have to be able to see their attack to dodge it. So she will ready a firebolt in case she sees it.
Okay. All right, Serena.
An enemy, I should say.
Right.
Serena is going to, after getting bumped into by Tavard, follow the same direction that he went. And she's gonna say, anybody seen any enemies? I'm ready. And once again, hold an action, and she's gonna yell, "Get behind me!" to everybody.
And you're readying an action to attack the creature if you see it?
To attack anything that she doesn't recognize the javelin.
Okay. Blixel, from the center of this fog cloud, blasts out 2 lightning rays. I'll need you to make 2 defense rolls at disadvantage. Okay, you are struck on the first one, but on the second one, you do manage to evade. As you are struck with this lightning ray, you'll take 12 lightning damage, and you can't use reactions until the start of your next turn. Okay, you weren't concentrating on anything, no worries there. So with this direction from Dian, the expedition does begin to make their way to the southeast. They're not out and out running. They try to stay together as much as they can and move carefully. All right, top of the third round with Tavard.
Shoot. I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay. And Blixel.
So it came out of the fog at me, right?
Correct.
And would I be able to cast Fairy Fire into the middle of the fog?
Oh, good question. One moment.
Just says within range. 20-foot cube within range.
So, okay, so I would say yes, you can, but I want to make sure you're getting the effect that you want here. So if you notice the second paragraph of Fairy Fire, it says, any attack roll against an affected creature object has advantage if the attacker can see it. So if you're still in fog, I don't think you'd be able to see it, even though it would be outlined in color. It wouldn't be able to benefit from invisible, but it's not invisible at that point.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna hide. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna hide.
Okay, go ahead and throw me a blind check. Okay, you move to that area and try to hug the wall as best you can. Dean.
Wow, it's quite a pickle, boys. Well, I'm just gonna throw a Pooh's Flame in the middle of that fog at him.
Okay, so since you're now just randomly targeting, go ahead and pick a square that you're targeting, and then give me an idea of the height that you're shooting at, anywhere between 5 feet and 20 feet.
All right, 15 feet. I'm gonna go right here.
Okay.
Send it.
All right, so that is an 11. If there was something in that area, it does not hit.
I'm gonna stay there because I can use my vision and try to help my friends. So I will end my turn.
Hey, Thorn.
Okay. How tall is this up here, Adam?
That is 10 feet.
Alright. So, with him being 6'5", I'm assuming that if he comes here and then turns and runs and jumps, he could probably grab onto that ledge up top, right?
If he's got free hands, sure.
He's got one free hand.
So right now he's got a shield and then nothing, or what's in his hands?
He's prepped for quick toss. So he doesn't have anything in his hands.
Yeah,
Just the shield and empty hand.
Okay, then yeah, that would work.
Yeah, and an athlete means I don't have to get the extra 10 feet to get my full stand and jump. So Thorn will he'll do that. He'll go back and then come up and rush towards and try to climb up on top of this ledge.
Okay, so just want to clarify, you're stepping 5 feet to the south, and then you're running to the north, taking 10 feet to jump up and grab and pull yourself up.
He doesn't need 10 feet. He just needs 5. So he's just going that extra 5 feet to do a high jump to try to get up to the...
So you step 5 feet, and then you move 5 feet north, and that will trigger an opportunity attack. So I'll need you to make a defense roll at disadvantage.
I'll use my luck point.
Okay. Can you use luck point when on an armor class?
On a defense roll? It's any roll.
Go ahead and post lucky for me real quick. I forget exactly how it's worded. Okay, so this would fall under the. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. But I'm curious on the timing there, because I always thought it was you had to declare it ahead of time.
I thought when you can choose to spend 1 of your luck points after you roll the die, but before the outcome is determined. So I rolled it, and then I said I want to use my luck point.
Yeah, that's describing the top part. So the second paragraph is when we start talking about when you get attacked, right? So everything above that is not. That's pertaining to when you spend it for your rolls. So
no, I think everything at that first part, it says you have 3 luck points. It's describing when you can use the luck points, and it says you can choose afterwards then goes into choose. So I'm interpreting it as whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point to roll an additional d20. So isn't it whenever you roll basically any roll, you can say before the outcome is determined that you would like to roll a new roll.
So yeah, okay. So for now, we'll go with that. I honestly don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I believe that first paragraph is affecting how you do your rolls, right? So it's explaining you have the 3 luck points. That's how it goes. Then the second part is saying you can also, now it's expanding and saying here's another way that you can use your luck points. But I don't, because again, essentially this means you can choose to just never be critically hit, right? Like you say, oh, I was critical, I'm just going to spend a luck point, right? And I don't think that's the intent, but I'll double check after. But for now, we'll go ahead and go with that. So, yep, go ahead and burn a luck point. Okay, so that makes a 4, and then you are adding 8. So that would make a 12 defense roll.
I mean, yeah, that's better than a nat 1. So.
Yep, yeah, I was just pausing and making sure there's nothing else you're doing. So 12 defense roll. All right, and so that means you will be hit. Okay, so you're hit with 11 piercing damage, and you are grappled and restrained, and I need a Constitution saving throw. And because you're grappled and restrained, I'm putting you back to where you would have triggered that. Okay, that will fail. Okay, so you are also now poisoned, and while you are poisoned, you are paralyzed.
I'll start thinking of a new character.
Saline, your turn.
All right. Well, Saline doesn't see anything. It's like the fog all the way to this top of the cavern. How tall is the cavern?
It is close to the top, but not all the way to the top. There's probably about 5 feet or so between the top of the fog cloud and the top of the ceiling.
Sure, but no way I would be able to see anything happening on the other side.
No.
So, yeah. Well, she still thinks the plan is to kite backwards. So I guess I will start following the expedition again to make sure that they're not going to get attacked on the other side while we're falling back here. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to stop here and ready a firebolt for a hostile creature that I can see. That's all I got. I don't know what to do here.
All right, Serena.
Arena is having a similar experience. He's after seeing Dien shoot. Sorry, I missed whichever spot it was. She thinks that he sees something there, so she throws a javelin at the same spot.
You're throwing it at the exact same spot Dean picked?
Yep.
Okay. So again, keep it in mind that like he threw it through the fog. So as soon as it went into the fog, you would lose sight of it. But I know what you're going for. So go ahead and throw me your attack. Okay, so an 11 would miss if anything happened to be in that area.
And she's gonna shout, "What's the plan here?" and back up because it doesn't understand what's going on and doesn't really have anything she can do.
Okay, so yeah, so Thorin, you are currently grappled and restrained. So as part of being grappled, you are moved into the fog more fully. Then I will need a defense roll from you at disadvantage. Okay, so this will hit, and because you're paralyzed, it becomes an automatic critical. So throw me a piercing crit on yourself. Okay, so max plus the die rolls. All right, so we post that. All right, you did the major injury. Okay, so that will be 15 points of piercing damage from the crit. And then, yes, and then I'll need another defense roll at disadvantage. Okay, that will hit you as well. And so I'll need another piercing crit. Okay, so this is twice as many damage dice as normal. Here that comes. $29 points of piercing damage, and you take 1 piercing damage until you use an action to staunch the wound. All right, perfect. Thanks for updating your token. Okay, so that is that turn, and then we move to the expedition, and they are all going to move as a group as they get a little bit further away. Dwally will turn back to you at this point, though, Saline, and say, "Oh, we don't want to go too far from you. We're going to wait to this corner." All right, and I will take a moment moving those guys. We'll move up to the next top of the round, which is Tabard.
All right, so I may not. So if he's paralyzed, would we have heard any screaming from that particular one? I would have heard screaming from before that, though.
I would say you're definitely hearing like piercings, tentacle movements, that kind of thing. Yeah, when he's paralyzed, you're not going to hear him scream out or anything.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use patient defense. And yeah, I know that just like what was said earlier, that I know that if I don't see it, I don't get the dodge action bonus, but I do get the other flavor, so.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and start walking in until I bump into something, Adam.
Okay.
Maybe if I do, maybe I don't, right? Now, would I see him if he's that close in the fog, or is that I don't see 5 feet or 10 feet, or how does that work?
It's considered heavily obscured, so when you enter the fog, you don't even see, like if you put your hand in front of your face, you don't even see your hand.
Okay. But that wasn't a square. 30, 35, 40, and then I'll go here, 45.
Okay, so you've used key. Was that a bonus action or an action?
That's a bonus action.
Okay, so I'll just throw this out there. You didn't bump into anything. If you wish to use your action to actively perceive your surroundings to see if you hear anything, you can do that.
All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and try to see if I can be perceptive.
Okay, throw me a blind check.
And with all my great rolls, I tell you, it's a whole new bill. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm going to be rolling 20s behind the blind check, and Adam, don't say different.
Okay, what I will say is not only do you hear the rubbing of tentacles above you, maybe a tentacle actually touches your shoulder for just a second. You realize this creature is straight above you.
All right, and I'm going to yell out. I know nobody else can see it. I know I can't say it, but I'm going to say, "The thing's right above me!"
So
Sneaky little bastard.
Disembodied voice from the fog shouts that out. Yep.
Hey, they may not know, but at least I know, right?
Okay, Blixel.
Okay. Blixel, having seen the tentacles grab Thorn, he will come here, and he's going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
On what?
The creature. Tentacle creature.
Post that spell? Does it say you have to be able to see them?
No.
Okay, then yeah, that potentially could work. Yeah, throw me a spell effect roll.
I'm going to use my just double check, make sure I have an inspiration. I think I do. Yep, I'm going to use inspiration on that.
Okay, go ahead and click your inspiration to burn that and reroll. All right, nat 20. Okay, so yes, he will be affected by this, and I don't think you posted damage yet, right? So go ahead and roll it with the damage.
It's asking me to recast the spell. Is there?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You know what? It's already up there. I do see it. Yep, you posted it before. You did 12, right? If I scroll up a bit.
Oh yeah, 12. Yep.
Okay, my bad. All right, so I'm going to take 12 off. Okay, and then I'm going to ask you to roll me a d20, and I'm going to take the inverse. Oh, actually, never mind. It already rolled it on screen because I put the token on him, so no worries. He does pass his concentration check, but because he failed Dissonant Whispers, he does have to, let's see, move it away from you as far as it can. Okay, so it has its... no, actually, I take that back. It used its reaction. Let me double check the timing here. Yeah, okay, it does have its reaction because it attacked Thorn, but then it was its turn. So yeah, it can move. So it is going to move away from you, and it can move up to that far. Okay, so it is going to move, I'm going to say here. It is going to exit the fog at this point. And when it moves there, it is dragging Thorn with it. So you will notice it has Thorn. Actually, you won't notice that. You might notice a dangling tentacle, and maybe you see some fiery red hair, but you can't see all of Thorn based on where you're currently standing because of the fog.
Okay. I go, hey, it's over there. It's to the northeast of the fog cloud. Get it. And I guess since I can't see Thorn, I'm just gonna move up. Don't have a bardic inspiration for him if I can't see him. Actually, I can still move around, so I'll move up to here. Can I see him at this point?
Yes. Yep. Now you see him connected to a tentacle. You see the tentacles pulling him closer to this big beak towards the creature's center of its body.
Okay. It's ugly. And yeah, I'll use a bardic inspiration and give it to Thorn.
Okay.
Hey, Adam, when he was paralyzed or anything, did he get like a roll on his next turn or anything like that for saving throw on?
He hasn't had a next turn yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he did. Yeah. Just wondering.
All right, Dean.
All right, Adam. So without metagaming at all, right? I'm gonna pop a flaming spear. This is my plan. I'll give you the text. I want to pop a flaming spear next to basically Tavern at 15 feet and send it in that corner of the cave.
Okay, so a couple of things. Remember, you can't actually see Tavern right now, so you wouldn't know where Tavern is.
Yeah, but that's just describing without metagaming where I want to put it, because it doesn't say any place I could see. It just says within 60 feet. So if he said northeast corner of the fog cloud, I walk through this cave. I'm imagining I'm going to throw the flaming sphere somewhere around here and send it in that corner at 15 feet would be my best guess.
When you're saying send it at 15 feet, help me understand what you're talking about.
I'm going to manifest the sphere wherever you decide is logical, maybe here or there, at 15 feet in the air. And then as a bonus action, I send it into the northeast corner of the cave.
Okay, so you're trying to conjure it in midair.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm having to do a lot of guesses here, but what I'm going to say is, so you're trying to like conjure it in the air.
Yeah.
I would say it immediately falls to the ground at that point because it can't fly, right? So it would conjure it midair. It would fall to the ground.
Oh wait, I assuming that it. Oh,
Right. So it
oh
rolls and
yeah.
it can go over things, but it doesn't fly.
Okay, my bad. Then I'm trying to be creative as I can here. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's why I was lost for a minute because I'm
Um,
like, I'm not sure what we're going for here.
Yeah. My bad. Well, I guess I'm gonna just run to the north. I say, Serena, they see him. They has Thorn, and she just sees me book. I'm just gonna go straight north at him. So yeah, I know I can't see, but I'm gonna move. 10, bumping in the wall. 15, 20, 25, 30. Now I'm gonna dash to here.
Okay, so you emerge on the other side of the
50.
fog.
I have 10 more feet of movement. Now I see the bad boy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's
But I have my
flying
action.
15 feet in the air. You used your action to dash.
Yeah, I did. I get. Hold up. Wild shape. It's an action for me. It's an action for me to do my flaming lion too. Not a bonus action. You can summon a primal. So yeah, I use the circle of wildfire instead of wild shape, so it's an action to do that. Yes. Okay. From there, I'm just going to. Sadly, since I can see him, I gotta try to protect myself. So. Nope. Fuck. Tavern is just to the northeast, and then I'm gonna end my turn. I can't do anything else except
I'm
watch
coming,
him
but
die.
I've got small feet.
Okay, so Thorin, you're paralyzed. Your turn ends. You get to make a new Constitution save to try to shake this off.
All right, let me open my character sheet.
All right, you are no longer paralyzed. You will take 1 point of damage from that previous crit, so you're no longer paralyzed, but your turn has ended. Saline, your turn.
All right. I hear the shouting, right?
Yes.
The fog doesn't like suppress the sound or anything. So
It does not.
I'm gonna start coming that way. I don't think. So we'll start 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now, how smart is she? Can she see the circumference of this circle based on the curvature? Does she know how big the fog cloud is?
Ooh,
I would say
algebra.
no. Yeah, unless you want to use an action to mathematician it out.
That would end in the same result. So I'm gonna say that Saline is just going to hold here because she doesn't want to dash into the unknown and get herself in a bad spot. So, and she doesn't know how far it stretches out into that cavern she remembers passing by. So I'm just gonna stop here for now, and I will. Have anything I can do for Serena? Not really. Yeah, I will. I guess dodge, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. So, end my turn with a dodge action.
Okay, Serena.
Okay, Serena was already starting to run head first when Tavard said that he saw the tentacle. So She's gonna have to dash. And Mm, I think that's about it. What is to draw a weapon?
Usually just interact with object.
Then she's gonna pull out shipwrecker
Okay.
and be prepared for the future.
All right. The creature is going to disengage, and it's going to move back into the fog cloud. So it's going to move 5, 10, 15, and then you're not sure where it's any longer because you can't see it. So wherever it happens to go, I'm going to put it there for purposes. And it's going to, of course, pull Thorn along with it. The expedition isn't doing much of interest. Tavern.
Sorry, I just read Sentinel. It says I get an opportunity attack even if they take disengage.
You would if you could see it, right? So Sentinel is when they leave your reach, right? So your reach is 10 feet with Shipwrecker. It's already in the fog cloud by the time it leaves your reach.
Okie dokie.
How high was it in the air when I saw it go into the fog?
15 feet.
Thank you.
All right, Tavern, it is your turn.
All right, shoot. This is me having to roleplay a little bit because to the best of my knowledge, it was northwest of me.
Northeast of you. Best of your knowledge.
Northeast. Where'd it go? Assuming that I went back in here. I'm going to go ahead and use patient defense again. I hate using up all my ki, but I got to do what I got to do.
Okay, you have patient defense.
And Adam, I'm just going to go ahead and swing above me.
Okay, so you're swinging 5 feet above your head. Okay.
Well, actually, probably 6 feet because it's my warhammer, Adam.
Okay, fair enough. 6 feet.
I mean, come on, I got a little reach on that thing. All right, so I'm just gonna do it just because I gotta pretend I'm doing something, right? You know.
All right, you swing wildly up in the air as best you can, but you don't connect with anything.
Is Thorn alive and not paralyzed anymore, right?
Correct.
Well, can you where is he? Scream! Scream, Thorn, where is he?
I mean, I can't see him either. I'm just attached
But
to
if
him.
you're attached to him, well, you can make a noise and maybe that'll help. You know what
I'm
I mean?
attached to him over here.
Okay,
He's
well,
above
at least
me.
You're 5 feet from me, so
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if he's here. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been given. Those
yeah.
details.
We're trying to be
fine.
creative. We're in a real pinch.
Yeah, so if you're making noise, I would say you guys listening nearby, Tavern, you would hear the sound of that scream coming from above you.
All right. Well, I already used one of my attacks to try to do that, so I won't have another. I'm just gonna come here and I'm just gonna swing up again, Adam, just to do it.
Okay.
Because I gotta do something. So.
Once again, you swing and it feels like you're just hitting open air.
Yeah, but you know what? That open air just took a lot of damage.
All right, Blixel.
All right. I'm going to do it again. Enjoy the whispers. But I'm going to cast it at 2nd level.
All right, so yep, spell effect roll.
And I'll spend a hero point on that. Why not?
Well, I will tell you that works without having to spend a hero point, so no worries. Okay, so yes, he will take the 13 points of psychic damage. Maintains concentration on Fog Cloud, but will flee now using reaction. And I think what would make the most sense here would be this. So, Celine, you are suddenly draped in the noodly appendages of the creature.
Amazing.
Okay, and I don't have a bonus action. I don't want to go into the cloud, so I'm just gonna. It ran away from me, probably.
I found it. It's over here.
All right, yeah.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, I'm going to send Produce Flame 15 feet in the air straight to my south.
Okay, yep, go ahead and throw that.
I think that makes sense. I'm just going to send it down the hallway. And I am going to add to that. I am going to use a hero point for that.
Okay.
Oh, yay.
All right, your Produce Flame flies through the air. You don't hear it connect with anything.
And I'm running into the fog because these are my friends. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, Thorn, it is your turn. You're no longer paralyzed. Let me just see if there's any other information I need to share with you about this.
I lose a health, and then I'm also poisoned. I'm also crippled, and my speed is reduced by 10.
So you're no longer poisoned, because that's what was the poison does the paralyzed, and then when you made the save, that shakes off the poison, which ends the paralyzed. So you're not poisoned or paralyzed, but yeah, you would take that 1 point of damage and the cripple. Yep, nothing else that I just double checked.
Okie dokie.
And of course, as a reminder, you are grappled and restrained still by the tentacle.
Yeah, I think my only hope here is to break the grapple. So I will. I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so use your action to try to break the grapple.
What do I do for that?
That's athletics to try to break it, or you could try to use acrobatics. But as a reminder, I believe you're making dex saves at disadvantage because of one of those crits. Oh, that's just saving throws. So yeah, you could use either.
Yeah, athletics. We'll go athletics.
Okay. Yes, you do manage to break the grapple. So as you break the grapple, you free yourself from the tentacle. You fall through the air then, smacking into the ground. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from that. And you fall prone.
Okay. How far when I drop before I fall into the fog? Like, am I in it when I, do all of this?
Yes, you're in it the entire time. So even like from being grappled to hitting the ground, you're in it the entire time.
All right. Well, I will bonus action second wind.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second, actually. Okay, I'm also going to, so I'll second wind bonus action. Alright, I'll give myself that 8. this is kind of stupid, but we can't lose our wizard, so he's gonna also bait and switch. Doesn't say it has to be an action or anything, it just happens. So he's going to bait and switch with Celine, which they will swap places, and she will get +6 to her AC.
Okay.
So he drags her into the fog and pulls himself out of it, looking back up at the monster.
So just quickly confirming, Celine, are you willing to switch places with Thorn?
Sure.
Okay. So then, Celine, go ahead and put yourself where Thorn was, and Thorn takes your spot.
Alright, now here's the risky part. Thorn knows now that he is going to probably get targeted by this creepy fucking tentacle monster again, so he's going to try to dip away. He knows he'll probably get an opportunity attack, so he's going to try anyways.
All right, so you step back into the fog. Okay.
Okay, guess no opportunity. Oh, his reaction was for
His
running
reaction
away.
is gone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, that would be... Oh, actually, so he's only got... I'm sorry, Adam, let me redo my math again. So he's here. So he's got 20 feet of movement. He swapped with Celine, that's 5, so he's got 15, so he can only get to here.
Well, you were prone too.
We'll just say there, I guess.
Yes, yep, that would work. 10 feet. Okay, Celine, you are in fog, can't see anything. Your turn.
That is okay. We've established before that I don't necessarily need to see to throw a big fucking bomb. So I hope the expedition didn't come running back. That would be embarrassing. But we're gonna aim the fireball where I remember seeing it without hitting anyone up. So it's still 15 feet in the air, right?
You're not sure. You're in fog.
But it hasn't gotten its turn yet. So, you know, I'm thinking that it would go after its wounded target here. So let's. But the chamber is 20 feet tall, right?
You're something from the floor to the ceiling?
Yeah, because the fog was 15 feet high, you said, and then there was 5 feet at top of it?
The fog is larger than that. The ceiling is larger than that. You're not sure exact dimensions. Again, you guys didn't stop to calculate or anything like that, but you presume that the floor to ceiling is at minimum 25 feet.
Okay, but it's probably up in the air. So I will try to aim a fireball. Let's see. Where would it hit? Just to not catch me. So the epicenter 20 feet away from me, 10 feet in the air. So it'll hit up to 30 feet.
Okay, yep. So
If
go
that
ahead and...
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm following you. Go ahead and do smart
Yeah.
AoE for that. So you said 20 feet away from you is the epicenter.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and shrink this guy down. Oh, that works too.
So right there.
Okay.
Just so I don't clip myself. And we're going to... May I trigger all?
You can. Okay, it suffers some damage and it has failed to save. That's 27 points. Throw me a d20, Celine. I'll take the inverse for the concentration check. So this is a DC 13. He succeeds on that save.
Okay. And then I have movement, so I'm going to feel along the wall, try to get out of the fog. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I get... How much is this space over here, now that I can see where I'm at?
It would be squeezing if you enter that space.
Okay. I don't want to be in the fog, so I will end turn here. How long does my AC bonus last, Dylan?
Start of my next turn.
Okay.
All right, Serena.
Just running around back and forth. This sucks.
Yeah, I love these types of fights. But she heard the yelling, so she's gonna run blindly through again. I thought that there's not anything in this square, is there?
That's a solid wall.
Oh. Okay, she runs into it.
Okay, so you bump into the rock wall.
And I'm still blinded and unable to sense the thing right next to me, I presume.
You are still in fog and you don't see anything, correct?
I heard her stumble by, and I'll say, it's right above us. Oh, that was Vin. It's right above us.
Uh, I guess. Bummer. I guess I'll just have to swing above my head then.
Okay. You swing upwards, but your shipwrecker just hits open air.
No, it's not. Sorry, I kicked myself out of the voice. And that was my action, so I can't use my action to like search around me.
Correct.
So... I would like to make an attack just like swinging around me myself because I have the extra attack, but I don't know if that would be too OP to do it to myself.
You mean you're
The
just
one with-
trying to put shipwrecker out and just spin around? Is that what I'm hearing?
Please don't do that, because I'm gonna catch it.
Well, I mean, I would like attempt to try to find it.
Okay, yeah, I can give
I
you
mean,
that.
I heard his voice, so I wouldn't swing at him. You know where his voice came from.
Okay, so I will say that you like push around with your weapon. Again, keeping in mind this all happens within 6 seconds. You've already attacked once. You kind of push around. You don't feel the creature around you close by.
Okay. Then I will end my turn.
Okay. Yeah, so this is interesting because playing this creature smart, I think, would really prolong this battle a lot. So I'm going to go a little bit of a different route, but none of you guys can see this creature, so I'm going to turn it to invisible to you guys. Okay, and the expedition would get to do its thing, and we would be at the top of the next round. So what I will say, just to spare us some time here, as you guys push through the fog cloud, trying to see what you can see, look around, see if you could find it, you don't see the creature anywhere nearby you. So I'm going to put all of you guys on this side of the fog cloud, assuming that you guys are all kind of chatting, communicating, that sort of thing, and saying like, hey, let's check this area, let's check that area, yada, yada. You do not see the creature. we are halfway through our session, so we'll pause here and we will pick up after our break, and we can decide from there what it is that you guys would like to do. So see everybody back in 15.
Sounds good. See you all in a few.
All right, we are back to our second half. Let's get everybody back over to the appropriate map, and then we will do a quick summary of the aftermath of that battle there. Okay, guys, so you guys had this battle. The creature was using the fog to its advantage to try to make sure you guys couldn't hit it, and that it had the advantage attacking you guys, which seemed to work quite well for it. Eventually, after it got out of your immediate line of sight, it moved, presumably to the south. You're not quite sure exactly where. However, it has left your line of sight as you guys have moved to the south side of the fog itself. The fog persists at least for a while, but as you get to the south side of that, you don't see it anywhere, but you do hear some shouts from the expedition to your southeast, and they point to up above them to the west, and you see them pointing that way. Those that have weapons have them at the ready, and they're kind of leaning down and looking in that direction.
Well, I'm gonna head down and see if I can see it.
We'll shout out. Pixel shouts out to them to get down.
Okay, yeah, and you will see some of them do kind of hit the deck, and others just like haunch over.
And where are they pointing to, Adam?
They are pointing to Dian's west at the moment. So as you look to the west here, you can see a much higher ledge. This one is more like 18 feet high, and you can see that there is a lip there, and it looks like there's probably some purchase up there.
All right, get away from that cliff. Let me look down this hallway real quick. Guys, I'll get in front here. Excuse me. Okay, that looks clear. I see no dangers in here. I'm gonna inch forward and see if we can send our expedition here.
All right, and quick game note here is, as you're moving, Dian, if you happen to spot a purple arrow on the ground, this signifies that the tunnel continues in that way, and it is something that you, of course, can send the expedition forward to see if they can find anything, scout it out, those types of things. It doesn't just dead end there, but that's how I'm representing further trespass into the tunnels.
Okay, I'm gonna invite them down towards me, Adam, if I can.
So you're asking the expedition to move in your direction?
Yes. It seems clear in here. Just get away from that creature.
All right, they all kind of inch their way up or move and kind of jut and start and so forth as they get closer to you.
Are there any more ledges here? Do I think that thing's gonna go from ledge to ledge and follow us?
You do see that there is a ledge here, but let me make sure you can see where I'm pointing. There is a ledge here, but it is much shorter. This one's only like 4 feet.
Okay. Gonna wait and see if the rest of my party wants to come in here or finish the game. I'm not sure what they want to do.
Where did it go?
Behind you as you're walking. It's directly to all three of you's west.
Is there a way to climb up from over here?
Yeah, can we climb it up?
Yeah, I just wanted to get the expedition out of the way. We can go back and fight it, but I wanted to make sure this room was clear.
All right, I will say that as you're making your way, Tavard, once again, you get that strange sense of like you have to sneeze.
Yeah, I think that thing may still be back in this area or something. I don't know. Got that weird sensation.
Blixel's going to try to climb up the ledge here.
I'm sorry, which ledge are you trying to climb, Blixel?
Is there one right next to me where we're pointing?
No, that is a rock wall. If you're looking for the ledge that they were pointing to, it is over here. This ledge here. This is, again, about 18 feet high, though.
Adam, am I able to climb up this ledge?
That is also not a ledge. That is a rock wall.
Okay, well, earlier they wouldn't let me climb. I just feel like climbing.
Yeah, okay, sure.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, Blixel will try to climb it. Sure.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and throw me a blind check, Blixel, as you attempt to climb up this ledge. All right, and is it safe to say that you are trying to move and then dash up to get to the top of the ledge?
Yeah.
Okay, with that check, you do manage to make it up at the end of that turn, we'll say. So I'm going to put you there.
Adam, I'm going to do the same.
Okay, Tavern blind check as well.
And also just remember I have 45 feet, so whatever that means as far as the climbing and everything goes. So.
Okay. Yep, you are able to climb it as well. So this would take 40 of your movement. So you would get to here with like 5 feet left, if it matters.
Yeah, it won't matter because I can't get in Blixel's spot. So.
I'm not even going to bother if they see him because I'm sure they can't. I think I have to climb too, so just so I can see an invisible creature.
I guess just in case, Blixel will use his detect good and evil bloodline ability.
Okay, let me double check how that one's worded just a moment.
This thing's probably a monstrosity or something, but in case it is one of these weird creatures, I'll do it.
Okay, you search for anything that you could see that is within 30 feet of you that is one of those types, and your magic does not register that.
Adam, can I climb up, please?
Sure. Blind check, please, Dan.
And Adam, if it's okay, I'll help him up when once he gets his hand close enough, I'll try to help pull him up the rest of the way.
Okay, well, unfortunately, he doesn't quite get there. So, Dean, this is an 18-foot climb.
Tried. I knew he was going to F this one up. Man, my gosh.
So you get up about 6 feet before you slip. It looks like there's a little bit of lichen, perhaps, on these rocks here. You fall down, not enough to suffer significant damage. I'm just going to call it 1 point of damage as you land on your rumpus.
It was deliberate. It was deliberate. All right, I'm
They
gonna go
have
to the
rope
next.
they can throw down.
I'm gonna go the next square over.
Oh yeah, and I don't need to be able to see him. I think as long as they're not behind something, just a heads up. But
Okay, yep, yeah. So if I worded that wrong, you do not see anything up here or detect anything through that ability.
All right, I'm gonna climb up. Climb up again.
All right, you're trying to climb again, Dean. Okay, another blind check. Okay, this time you get up about 14 feet. You see Tavern's hand stretching out, and you reach up and you fall. That was a natural one. You fall as far down as possibly could be falling, and you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage from this more extensive fall.
All right, well, give me a rope because you guys need me up there. You can't see him. Just tie it around your waist, Tavern. Give me a rope.
You'll need to throw a rope up here, buddy.
All right, I'll throw a rope up there, buddy.
Can I help at all?
Yes,
Sure.
I can't get up this damn cliff.
All right, I will say again, with some effort between you guys discussing and teamwork here, you managed to get a rope either up or down. And Tavern, as long as you're willing to hold on to the rope, then whoever's trying to climb can make their climb at advantage.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and kind of dip them down a little bit, but I won't because I'm a serious dwarf.
Okay, yes, Dean, this time you do manage to climb up.
Ugh, my goodness, that was easy.
hey, you got up here. I don't think there's anything up here though. I mean,
I don't see anything. Yeah, guys, there's nothing up here. Don't worry about it. Can I have a perception check and see what's up here, Adam, with advantage? I'm looking for like tunnels or little weird rocks out of place and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and give me another blind check. You see no tunnels. There's nothing up here that would give you the impression that the creature could be hiding here or could have moved through this area. It is gone somewhere else.
And what's above me?
From here, there's about 17, 18 feet before a rock ceiling.
All right, guys. He's gone.
All right.
What the hell
so,
is that thing?
So now that you guys have had a little bit of experience with this, anybody that's proficient in insight, you can go ahead and make a blind check here. Okay, so both Dean and Thorn, you get the pretty strong, and Celine, you get the pretty strong suspicion here that that feeling like you had to sneeze was a type of spell casting that doesn't require like making sounds and vocal sounds. This might be something like psychic magic. So likely every time you felt that, that creature was casting a spell of some sort.
All right, Tavert, hang on to the rope. I'm gonna climb back down.
You got it.
Since I got a pretty close up look at it when it was hovering over me, was that enough to do some kind of check to try to identify it and maybe try to figure out what it's capable of? If
Sure.
I've read anything.
Yeah, you can make a check on this. This would fall under Arcana, but go ahead and give me a blind check. Yes, so this is a type of grell. Grell are essentially floating brains with beaks that kind of look like birds and have very many long tentacles. They are generally quite intelligent. Based on the size of this one, this looks like an even larger version of a grell. You assume it is some type of maybe like a leader, a grell leader perhaps. As far as its capabilities, you've detected that it can do spell casting. And you seem to recall, based on maybe some of these books that you have read, that their spellcasting uses psionics. So it's not actual spellcasting, it's psychic magical abilities. In addition to the various spells it can cast, for example, Fog Cloud, Mage Armor, Invisibility, maybe a couple of others that you're not as familiar with. It also can shoot lightning rays, and its tentacles can poison and paralyze people, as you guys have discovered.
All right, I'm gonna climb down at him with Tavard holding the rope.
Okay, yep, blind check there, Dean. Yep, you get down, no problem.
Did anyone recognize that thing?
I'll explain what I know.
Oh, are they like in a pack? Are they pack creatures, or is there going to be more of those things? Are they solitary?
Well, the size of it suggested it was sort of a leader or a more well-developed thing, but I feel like if it was part of a pack, they would be with it. So I'm not really sure.
I'm gonna reach out and touch Thorn's shoulder and pop him with Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Does magical healing happen to heal my crippleness?
I don't believe so, but let me go back and read exactly what that said. Yeah, unless it specifically said like a point of healing removes this, then no.
What's the matter? Are you poisoned?
No. He pierced me through my leg, and I'll like lift it up and show you, and it's like dripping blood, and there's like a hole
Well,
through his entire thigh.
Yeah, can I use an action to staunch the wound, Adam?
Well,
That's
it's
already
staunched
been
already.
done,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's staunched, but like I have a major injury, so it's like minus 10 feet.
you
Think of it like his femur was like shattered.
Oh, well, you don't look well. So you have your movements limited. Okay.
Yeah, so reduce speed by 10 feet and disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Blixel will climb down using the rope as well, if Tavert still is holding on to it.
Yeah, I need to be the last one down.
All right, Blixel, blind check. Yep, you get down no problem as well.
All right, this would be without a rope.
And you're trying to climb?
Yes.
Okay, without a rope, you kind of get down a little bit and then fall, but thanks to slow fall, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, plus I figured if I had bludgeoning damage, I'll also have an advantage there, so that's why I want to be the last one. So.
Hey, Celine, help me take a look at his leg. Is there a way we could determine how to fix him?
We should treat him like a horse.
Off to the
Uh,
glue factory for you.
I can look at it, but I don't think I have strong enough healing magic to repair an injury like that just with a cursory look at it.
Can we run a medicine check and see what
Sure.
or something?
Yeah, if someone's trying to inspect this wound, you can certainly make a medicine check.
Are we still talking about my leg?
Yes.
Oh. I'll be fine. Save your magic.
I'll help him, of course, with the medicine check.
So based on a quick examination here, Dian, with Saline assisting, you would know this is something that typically requires an extended period of downtime to heal on its own, aka part of a long rest. However, more powerful healing magic can restore it instantly, but usually you're looking for like a regeneration spell or something to that effect.
Okay. You'll be limping for a while, my friend.
No worries. Just make sure none of these expedition members die. That's what I'm hired for.
All right.
All right, so as you guys are kind of scoping this area out just a little bit, you notice Griffin kind of steps up and says, "Oh, okay, well, it looks like we have plenty of different ways to go. Alice, I'll go check the south. Do you want, which way should she check?" And you notice Alice kind of steps up. "Yes, well, it looks like," and you see she's holding a torch up as she's kind of stretching it out. She says, "Oh, it looks like we have several options. I'll travel to the north here first, and I'll see what I find." And Griffin says, "All right, that sounds good. I'm gonna head south."
All right, good luck.
Okay, Thorn, give me a D20 roll, please, and Dian as well. Okay, Dian, please roll me another D20.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and now please roll me 3d6.
That's for each of the crossbow bolts or whatever.
Okay, it is quiet for perhaps 5 minutes or so. You haven't seen either of your scouts return yet. Anything specific you guys are doing?
How long were they gone last time?
Ooh, good question. I think down here in the dark, it's hard to remember. I'm not sure even I remember.
Blixel's just keeping an eye out, still using up the last of his detect good and evil in case he senses anything, so just scanning around.
Should Savard go to the north and look since you're close there? We haven't seen him come back yet.
Yeah, let me go take a look. I was gonna follow him, but my gosh, that little door's fast. I don't know which way they went. They went
follow the purple arrow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm pointing that I'm going straight.
All right, and your intention is to keep following this path as far as it goes?
Well, we could just theater the minded if that matters. I don't know what's on the other side, but I would say that I'd probably go just. I mean, I don't know what's on the other side, but I'd say that I'd go maybe about another 20 feet.
Okay, yeah, the tunnel continues significantly farther than 20 feet. So if you travel 20 feet, obviously you're still within line of sight of your team, that sort of thing. You don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Hey, Adam, can I look around on the ground here if there's any chance to see where she went, to the north or to the east, by footprints or broken rocks or anything?
Okay, yeah, it's going to be pretty challenging down here without the ability to detect like footprints in the rock, right? But yeah, go ahead and throw me a blind check survival.
I will also pop up produce flame just in real quick so I can, in my hand, so I can get a better look.
Okay, sure. So you conjure a little flame to give you some light. Yeah, it is so difficult to determine down here, Dean. Again, you're used to like mud or maybe leaves. You can kind of detect movement through overgrowth, that kind of thing. This is literally just rock ground for the most part. You don't see anything that gives you a conclusion one way or the other.
Okay. And is Devard already into the north tunnel?
Yes, he only went 20 feet, so you can think of him as being 20 feet off map. You can basically see him standing there.
Anything, Devard?
I don't know. I don't know where the dwarf went.
All right, Adam, can I go in here and look?
Sure. And again, are you willing to keep traveling this as far as it goes? If not, tell me how far you're willing to go.
Same 20 feet in.
Okay, yeah, the tunnel continues significantly farther than 20 feet. You see nothing out of the ordinary except more tunnel.
And I'll come back. I said, I can't track her. I don't know. It's her, right? I don't know where the dwarf went, and
I don't know why they decided to go off on their own like that. Not very smart explorers, to be honest with you.
Well, it's better them than us, those scouts.
You're not in close distance. I didn't say it loud enough for you to hear it. I didn't want to take the chance the other dwarves to hear. I'm trying to make friends with these dwarves.
All
do
right.
the expedition team look worried?
Not at all. You hear Dwally talking with his teammates and just random kind of chatter. Oh, yeah, look at this rock accumulation here. I wonder if there's any iron down here in these caves. I bet you we could find a vein here or there. And then you hear some of the other dwarves say, I remember back in when I found this really... And it's like this kind of chatter going on and on.
I'm going to tell them, yeah, I don't know where your friend went up that direction there, but there's two different paths. I'm a little concerned because the paths just seem to keep on going.
Wally looks towards you, Tavern, and he gives a nod. Don't worry, friend. They're good at what they do. The scouts, they know to be careful, and they travel a different direction, see what they can find, and then they'll come back before too long.
All right, I'm just concerned. I mean, I'm sure they're skillful, but this obviously proved to be a dangerous area here.
What, you're not scared because the DM asked that one person to roll dice, are you?
Yeah, the 4d6 and all this other stuff. There's a whole bunch of dice there and everything, and he's mean.
All right, as you guys are chatting here for a bit, a little bit of time passes by. Serena, based on where you're standing, you notice Alice coming back down from the north. You see the torchlight probably before you see her, and then you see her coming down, and you see she just kind of looks at you. Oh, were you waiting for me?
Just trying to keep an eye on all parties. What do you find out?
Well, this tunnel goes quite a distance and it breaks off even more times, but I did find a couple of interesting things. Let's head back to the group and I can tell everybody. Is Griffin back yet?
Sounds good. I don't think so.
And you notice as she gets you don't see Griffin back yet. As she gets back in this area, you notice Dwally looks towards her and with a smile looks towards you, Tavern, and Alice looks at you all and she says, "Oh, Griffin is not back yet?"
No, I'm looking into the south tunnel and I don't see anything.
Oh, well, let me head down that way and just check real quick. Occasionally he finds more interesting things. Just give me a moment. I'll head down there and see what I can find. And she continues down the tunnel. All right, and you guys again have some kind of like chatter here, that sort of thing. About 5 minutes passes by this time before you notice both Alice and Griffin returning. However, you notice that Alice is actually holding Griffin, like almost like you would hold a baby. As a reminder, Griffin is a halfling, so she's like holding him that way. He's kind of like in the fetal position as he comes back up, and the two of them enter. And you see she looks and kind of gives you all like a little bit of a grin, and she says, "Okay, Griffin, do you think you can go from here?" And you see she kind of sets him down a little bit, and he's really favoring one of his legs. "Oh my, that fall was dastardly. The floor just gave way before me. I couldn't believe it. I hurt my knee."
Ah. You and Thorn can hang out together.
And you see Alice looks to you all and she says, "Well, to the north, I found the most peculiar thing. I dared not continue because I thought you would all get very excited once I told you what I found. But just a reminder, we're in an area that's dangerous, so don't make too many loud noises, right?" And you hear Dwally say, "Oh, come on now, tell us, what did you find?" And she says, yes, Dwally, just calm down. And she comes up and she says, "Okay, I traveled that tunnel about 300 feet or so, if I had to guess. It might have been a little bit longer, but I found veins of gold lining the walls. There was no mining operation that I saw, but I found bodies too. They looked like Orogs, like we fought, stripped of all of their gear. It looked like they had died quite some time ago. Also, some of those little the really nasty ones, the yip, what are those ones called?"
Goblins?
The little cobalt things.
Kobolds, yeah, those. Oh, I hate those things. Yeah, it was those things.
They're smelly.
Indeed, yes. But as I saw that, I continued quietly, very quietly, as best I could. There is some kind of big dead creature, but it is like half sunken into what looks like a pool of gold ore.
Oh. I think we are rich, Serena.
What's the reaction of Dwally and the expedition team hearing this?
You notice Dwally's actually squeezing his hand to not like shout, and his face is turning red, and you see this big smile stretching across.
Look over at Dwally and say, Dwally, we should clear it before we all move in there.
What do you mean clear it? The bodies?
Everyone's dead.
Something killed them.
Yeah, but something. Yes, exactly. The
Yeah,
small elf
cobalt
girl
did
gets
kill
it.
those Orogs.
Nor
long
that
time
giant
ago.
monster. Yes, but we do not know how long. It's best before we all go running in there that maybe a small group of us and go and investigate.
Yeah, fighters only. Let's go. This will really help the kingdom.
As you say this, Blixel, you notice Dwally looks and he says, "Oh, well, now that I think about it, we haven't really talked about how we're going to split things that we find and such, right?"
What do you mean split?
Well, we're the mining expedition, and, well, if it's gold ore, of course you're going to need our help to get it all out of there. You're not going to be able to take it out yourself. It's not like you're miners.
No, that's true. I think usually miners get a nice daily rate.
You see he kind of like narrows his eyes as he looks towards you, Blixel. What? Hang on a second. You had no idea about even coming down here. I'm the one that brought it to your kingdom. I said there could be a path all the way to the other side, and who knows what we would find down there. And look what we found. Gold! Gold!
Then perhaps it's for the best
Lower your
if
voice, Wally.
perhaps it's for the best if we officially establish terms here.
I don't know if we've got the authority.
I think as council members, we can hammer out some kind of deal here. What's a normal finder's fee?
Well, let's be thinking now. Well, you see, we could keep looking for this path to the other side, of course, but this seems like a very good find. What do you think that your old King Boyo up there would say? Maybe we could, protect this area and try to extract the gold.
Hey, Adam, by chance, because, Tavard was a miner in his other area and everything like that, would he kind of have a good understanding of what the rates may be?
Of what to pay miners? So, again, it would vary significantly. Like a safe mine that you would hire miners and they would just be going as like a regular job, it wouldn't be too expensive, probably like a silver piece a day per miner. But you're getting the strong suspicion from Dwally here that he's certainly not thinking of them as just miners. Like they're part of the group that found this, is the impression you're getting from him.
Right, but and obviously these aren't safe tunnels, is there any form of a blind check I could make to say, hey, I don't know if 20% of the gold that's been pulled up from the mine or whatever the number is,
So just to clarify, you're trying to come up with a number that you feel like Dwally would say, oh yeah, that sounds fair? Is that what you're trying to intuit?
And what would be fair, maybe what the going rate may be. Would I have any ability to be able to do that?
I would say without seeing how much gold is there, there's so many variables at this point, right? Like, how are you going to extract it? How are you going to protect it to get it out of here? What are you going to do once it's out? There's just way too many variables to really even know.
Fair enough.
You will all be very handsomely rewarded, believe me. But we want to make sure you know that this is part of our province here. And as such, probably the majority of it is going to go to the kingdom.
Well, actually, I'm afraid to say that the kingdom of Baruch Ajik has laid claim to everything below ground, which this is below ground now, Counselor.
Oh, so you don't need our help?
What?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe we come up with some kind of agreement, right? Certainly it seems like 50-50 would be a good place to start, don't you think?
Wixel looks at everybody else.
I think
Adam-
I think you should. Well, I don't want to say it because I have no persuasion, but I look at you like a nod, like, come on, dude, do your thing, Pixel.
How about, since we just got almost killed multiple times, and it's going to take a lot more effort to clear this place out, how about you guys get 40% and we get 60%? Then everybody gets their beak wet, and everybody's happy.
All right, go ahead and give me a blind check here, Blixel.
Sarita's spitting on the ground.
You notice Dwally strokes his big, thick beard here luxuriously so, and you get this impression that he's really giving this a think. But eventually he kind of narrows his eyes and looks and he says, I think that do be quite fair, in fact. 40% for us and Well, yes, I think that is more than fair. Congratulations, Expedition! 40% of the hull! Hoorah! And you hear them all kind of like cheering.
Yeah. And of course, that comes with you helping us remove some of it and using your mining expertise.
Oh, yes, of course, of course! We wouldn't miss this for the world!
All right, and so Blixel goes over and tries to shake his hand.
Dwally stretches out a big meaty mitt for you, and he grasps your hand and shakes it like vigorously.
Can I make an insight check? Did I mess up by giving him this?
Yeah, I was
Go ahead and
trying
give me
to
a
do an
blind check.
insight check earlier.
Check that. That's absolutely.
No, I mean, I would say based on that check, you feel like this seems like a fair agreement. You're getting more than they're getting.
All right, so Blixel looks very
Not
pleased
fair.
with himself. Oh, now, Serena, we wouldn't have any of it if we didn't know about this place. We wouldn't have any of it. So let's just concentrate on staying alive and getting out of here, so we can, spend
And
our riches.
the ghost of Vin reminds everybody that hiring the expedition didn't cost any money. They just wanted protection. So we just made 60% for just being here.
And
and XP and a magic item, so we're killing it.
Griffin, when you went on your tunnel, did you find anything interesting, or you just fell?
Oh, I didn't get too far. Maybe 80 feet or so. And then, the ground fell before me, and I fell down and hurt my knee.
Is it's passable still, though, if we were to go that way?
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe someone real small could, like, grip the edge and kind of sidle around, but the rest of you guys, I don't think so.
Let me have a look at your knee, and I'm just gonna do it and role play at him. I don't know if I can heal it, but I do a medicine check and just I'm caring for him and making sure he's okay.
Using simply a medicine check? Yeah, go ahead and throw a blind check.
Were the kobolds on alert?
So, based on your medicine check there, I would say Griffin has suffered some damage. Any kind of healing from any way would certainly assist him here. He doesn't look like near death or anything. You can see his health bar, I believe, right? So you should be able to see like roughly how wounded he is.
Oh, okay. You'll be fine. Just hang in there, bud.
And he kind of looks at it and like sucks air through his teeth, like it's really smarting him. But yeah, you think he's going to make it. Over to your question, Blixel, when you said, were the kobolds on alert? Just a reminder, she said there were dead kobolds and dead orogs.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, Thorn, you wanted to take a breather and bandage your wounds, right?
He's like sipping from like a flask, and he like turns and looks at you and says, I'll be alright. Just give me a little bit longer.
Okay. Let us know when you're ready to go, then. You guys all want to go investigate this gold? I think.
I'm thinking about as well, Adam. Since we're here, not doing anything, light work. Maybe I can get a short rest. I want to get some hit points back up.
If you guys are willing to spend an hour here, you could do that. Yeah. Okay, hearing no disagreements, I will assume you guys start a short rest. After about 10 minutes or so of this short rest, you can see the dwarves are looking very antsy. And you can see some of them, you almost get the impression of like drug addicts and like they're fiending to go that way. You can see them looking that way and gold. And you can see Dwally, yeah, it's going to be okay though. Just wait down here. It's going to be fine. And you see some of them say, oh, do you know what we can do with this gold? Oh, we can change our lives forever. There's so many things we can do. And you can see that they're having a really hard time containing their excitement.
Well, someone killed all those creatures in there, and it's probably best that we are healthy enough to clear it first before we claim such riches. Just hang in there a little while longer.
I'm gonna look at the dwarf that came from up above, and I'm gonna say, "So, can you describe the creature you said that was kind of half buried? The big giant one?"
So that was actually a woman, an Anwirian woman, that was the one that came from that direction. But as you ask her this question, she nods and she says, "Oh yes, well, it's kind of like decomposed and things, but it's stuck in this pool of gold, and it kind of looks like maybe a big snake."
All right, thanks. Yeah, I think we should go take a look at it.
And is this normal for dwarfs to be crazy like that for gold?
No, dwarves are normal. Yeah, we're good.
And the guy's still marking with the chalk, right?
He has been, yes.
Okay, cool.
Can I roll my health from my short rest real quick, Adam?
Short rest has not completed yet. It's only been about 10 minutes. I'm just waiting to see if there's anything else you guys wish to say before I continue passing time.
I'm ready to go explore.
I'm not taking a short rest just yet. I'm gonna save it because I have a feeling I'll need it later.
But Blixel's gonna, if other people are waiting, he'll try to do a short rest as well.
Okay, so it sounds like a majority of the group, or at least several of you at this point, are wanting to take a short rest. So I'm assuming no one's pushing. You don't want to split the group, right? Like everybody's willing to wait here the hour?
Yep.
Since I'm not really resting, I'm gonna stand at the entrance to the. It's north, right?
It is north, yes.
To kind of like prevent people from taking off.
Okay, fair enough. So yes, you guys managed to kind of hang out here for a while. Eventually, it seems as though the expedition, while they're very anxious and ready to go, they're realizing you guys are waiting. You want this extra time. They're getting a little bit grumpy and so forth. But yeah, 20 minutes passes by, then 30 minutes, and you can see Dwally looking over at you guys, and he's like, "Are we ready to go yet, lads?"
We're useless unless we've rested, so just a little while longer.
You see him like kind of like kicking his foot on the ground, skipping dirt and things, and looking at rocks, and starts tapping his knee, and he starts looking around. And this kind of behavior goes on for the rest of this short rest, but you guys do manage to get your short rest in. And those of you that are taking one, go ahead and type in chat like before, and I'll make sure to assign one to you.
Thorn will eventually stand up and start, like, massaging his leg and working it out a little bit, and he'll look at Dwally and say, "If you die, Dwally, you get 0 gold."
You see he nods towards you. Yes, I know, but think, no one's found this much gold if it is what Alice says. Think about how much gold that is. Gold!
Yeah, and sorry, Blixel is going to do the song of rest for other people too. So.
Okay, yeah.
Thorn will say, "Well, now we know why the Orogs are here. They probably found it. We know there's more somewhere, so just be patient. We saw that creepy brain thing, kobolds, and some other big creature that we don't know what it is. It's best to wait before we start just mining gold, because everything in the cave will hear that. Just be patient, Dwally."
What's Song of Rest again?
I can do, I believe it's an extra D6 for you guys. Yeah,
Good.
so should I roll that, Adam, for them?
I believe the way it's worded is when they take a short rest, they get to roll the d6, but however it's worded, if you want to just post the wording. Each of those creatures gains an extra 1d6 hit point. Yeah, so either way, I guess if you want to roll it for him, you can, since it's your ability.
Yeah, we'll see how good he is.
Yeah, pretty good.
So even though I can hear it, I don't get it because I didn't take a short rest.
Correct. Yeah. So this ability only works if you take a short rest. So if that hearing that means you want to spend a short rest, you can certainly do that.
Well, and even I'm not getting hit points back, so I'm not even gonna get it for myself. But I'm gonna give it to the other ones.
Wait, you have to get hit points back in order to get this Song of Rest benefit?
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
you have to spend hit dice.
Man, BG3 is so messed up.
Oh yeah, they don't follow like any rules. I mean, I guess the base rules of how it works, but yeah. I wish I could throw a potion at Dean. Give him haste or something, you know what I mean? Hit Tavert
That'd
with
be
the
sick.
invisibility one.
But then once the rest ends, Blixel is gonna use Cure Wounds on himself. But he's just gonna use the Bloodline ability for it.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Any other special preparations you guys are taking before moving on?
My concentration goes away too from the detect good and evil. Only lasts 10 minutes, so.
Okay. All right. So if you guys are ready to move on, then is it fair to say Alice is going to take the lead? She's going to lead you back to where she found this.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so she does just that. So she leads you guys to the north. Once you guys leave this part of the map, you travel a good distance, perhaps the 300 feet or so that she was mentioning. And as you guys make your way across this, you get through another tunnel. She motions and like basically says, "Yep, keep following me." You guys go this way. You find yourself in an area where you can hear the sound of running water before you can spot it. But eventually, passing through an area, you see like a waterfall coming down from up above. This opens up where the ceiling is much higher, perhaps 60 feet or so. The water seems to be running from like a crevice in the ceiling, crashing down, and this water goes a distance. As you guys get closer to the river itself, you can see the water continues to go, and it seems like it deposits into a hole in the ground then, but the hole is not really visible to you. You can't see where the water ends up, but she asks you to follow her, and you're basically walking on a thin bit of rock path that goes behind the waterfall, and it is not wet because the water crashes off away from it. So you follow her around there. You see a couple of alcoves with some rock debris, that sort of thing. You travel south until it gets narrow again. It then opens up into a larger area, and far to the east, once you get close enough, sure enough, you can see what looks like a large amount of molten gold in the ground. You can see a very strange looking skeleton is like emerging from that gold, and you can see what looks like large amounts of gold stuck in the wall itself. If there's no objections, Dwali essentially wants to set up like tents and things and basically make this a camp area so you guys can really appraise the amount of gold here and get an idea of like how much you're looking at, all the work effort, that sort of thing.
Well, since the DM said what looks like gold, I would like to confirm that it's gold first.
Yeah, and I have a question. Is there heat coming after the room.
Yeah, you said molten. So is it like a lava of gold, like a river of gold,
No.
or is it?
No, it looks like it was. Sorry, yeah, molten's probably the wrong word. It looks like it was liquid gold at some point because it's so flat that it would be impossible for it to not be that way. But right now, it's completely solid. So think of it as it was superheated at one point in time and it is now hardened.
Aha.
So it kind of looks like a sheet of
Yes.
gold almost. Okay.
Exactly, yep.
And then there's like these random veins of gold throughout the wall. And then when you say the skeleton and it says it's exposed, I imagine that while it was liquid, it was in it and then it, solidified so it's like half of its body is out. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so the creature that's out, you said it's a skeleton. Can we make out? Is it like a bear? Is it like a,
No, it
like
resembles. So it's got some skin on it still, but it's mostly skeletal. It resembles a large snake or worm.
And then final question for me. We were also told that there were like kobolds in here. Can we see those anywhere?
You can, yes. You see bodies of both orogs and kobolds all around this area.
Oh, they're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought they were still alive. Okay.
Hey,
Is it
are they enemies? Kobolds and dwarves? I mean, orogs and kobolds?
Are you asking this question, or are you trying to
I'm
use your
asking this.
knowledge?
No, to my friends. Because I don't know. So I'm just throwing it out there to the party.
Yeah, I don't know. Those
How
Orogs
do I
weren't
know
very
if I
friendly.
know?
I was hoping Saline might know, or to Tavard.
I
Adam, can I
I
make a check of some sort?
Sure. So you're trying to make a knowledge check here, whether you know orogs and kobolds work together or are allied, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check. And Saline, I see you threw a check. Was that you doing the same?
I threw the check because Dean mentioned my name about a knowledge check, so that's what I do. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, fair enough.
can I throw my hat in this knowledge check as well? I want to make some kind of like history check about kobolds without the orogs being in a cave. Are they like in service to something, or do they usually find these like things and hoard it? Like, because they're draconic. So does he know anything? Do they serve under a big dragon or anything similar like that? Could Thorn make that kind of check?
You can, yep. And then Serena, based on your question, I'll ask for a check as well. That's more like medicine. So go ahead and throw a blind check as well, Serena.
I'll throw a hero point on mine just because I got him. Oh, nice.
Perhaps someone else would like to do a medicine check like this because I'm not proficient.
So let me start with Saline. You can see if anybody takes you up on that, Serena. But Saline, so what I would say, based on your knowledge, you know that orogs are typically considered like bullies. Kobolds are often used by orogs as like slave labor. So think of kobolds as being like the lowest rung, and orogs would use and abuse them and then dispose of them when they don't need them any longer. Occasionally, orogs have been known to like slave trade with other orog tribes when they're not killing each other. They might actually trade kobolds as like a form of currency in a sense between the two different tribes. Taver, you're not as familiar with this information based on your check. You might know that kobolds do indeed frequently appear in underground caves. It's kind of a frequent environment for them, but you're not really sure their interaction or relationship with orogs. Thorn, you were wanting to know about kobolds and like who they might serve, that sort of thing. Real dragons are almost completely absent from Cerilia, and they're certainly not known to be anywhere near this area. So you don't believe that the kobolds here would be in service to a dragon, period, because there really aren't dragons in this area.
Got it.
Serena, based on your medicine check, these guys have been dead anywhere between 2 days and 45 years.
I'll help her.
So good at this.
So, Dean, I would say you can determine that these creatures have been dead for at least a few months.
Right in the ballpark, Serena.
Okay, is there any objection
Yikes.
at this point to Dwali and Expedition setting up a little encampment here and just getting things prepped, getting their gear out, that kind of thing, to kind of get
Yeah.
things set?
Can I do look around the room carefully for using my advantage on visual perception to see if there's anything out of place, any dangers or slip falls or not traps, but
You
loose
can?
rocks or danger.
Sure. Yeah, you can. Go ahead and throw me a blind check. So you don't see any immediate dangers. I will say you see a lot of stalactites on the ceiling in this area. There's a few stone plinths that do come from the ground as well. The area that you're in right now is kind of lower in elevation to your north where you came from, which is where the waterfall was. That's higher in elevation, so you'd have to like walk back up to go that way. To your south, there is also higher elevation. So you can think of yourself as being sort of like in a ravine at this point. You're in the low point where there's higher elevation on both your north and south. There is also a path that continues to the southeast, and the tunnel seems to continue that way.
Oh, interesting.
Does the gold stretch with that tunnel?
So the gold seems to be contained in like the northeastern part of this chamber. So in the ravine area, northeastern chamber, you see the veins of gold. They take up probably a good 30 feet or so. And then the pool of molten gold is like right at the base of those. So how exactly that happened, you're not sure. And then of course there's the skeleton in the center of that.
Am I able, now that I can see the skeleton, am I able to try to identify it? What it was when it was alive?
You can certainly try, yeah.
Can I try to help her? Can we like go up to it together and I'll start talking?
Well, I don't want to
about
go into the room yet.
So
Oh,
I
okay.
would say you have to get reasonably close. And by that, I would say within 20 feet of it.
Never mind.
Okay.
Not until we know it killed these things.
Don't you
Yeah.
think it was that monster?
Is there wounds on the dead bodies?
So the dead bodies are close to the molten gold and close to the skeleton. And so are you willing to get close enough to the bodies to examine them?
Sure.
Okay, so you approach the bodies, and yes, as you're eyeballing them, you can see that it looks like that they have sustained a series of wounds. You see what looks to be almost all weapon kind of attacks. So think of this as like slices in the bodies, pierce marks in the bodies. You can see like maybe some broken bones here. All what you would assume to be the result of bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
I joined him in the room.
Yeah, me too. It kind of looks like a fight, doesn't it, Sir Blixel?
Yeah. Do those look like sword marks or teeth marks?
They are more associated with weapons than with anything else.
Okay.
Any weapons around, Adam? I know you said that it probably looks like a month or so that they've been dead. Can we see any blood on the weapons?
So it looks like it's been at least 3 months. I said a few months, so at least 3 according to Dean's knowledge of medicine here. You don't see any weapons nor armor. It looks like these bodies, you assume, have been stripped.
And last question about now that we're in there and looking at the bodies of the creatures, how far away from them and the skeleton would you say?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Between the bodies of the Orogs and the Kobold and then the skeleton of the creature halfway stuck in the molten gold, what's the distance there?
Almost right next to each other. So like the pile of bodies is right at the base of the sheet of gold.
Kind of turn and look and say, I think it's safe if you all want to come in.
I think I already looked around the room. Did the bodies look like they've been piled? You said piled, and that piqued my interest. Or does it look like they fell in battle as of where they are?
It certainly looks like they've been piled because they're way too collected and organized for this to just be random.
Okay.
You use Divine Sense, Blixel, from a little distance away. And you don't detect any presences or anything like that. So you're looking around 60 feet, anything out of cover. You don't detect any presences that would register on Divine Sense.
Okay.
He's in the room with us, right? So how big is like the room in circumference?
All right, so here's right. Let me say it this way. I've got this map set up with the expectation that you guys are going to sort of be encamped here. So if you guys are okay with the expedition setting up tents and getting like this ready, then I can move you to the map so you can see exact dimensions and all that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure we're safe before we set up. That was
Yeah,
my
I-
mindset.
Yeah.
In case there was
I
like
was gonna
I think we all agree. Establish safetiness of the room.
like touch the gold and like the bodies just to make sure it's all real.
Okay, you are able to do that, and yes, they certainly feel all real. Nothing is ephemeral, and nothing you like touch through it or anything.
You know how people bite gold coins to tell if they're real gold coins?
Yes.
Blixel leans down and bites the pane of molten gold on the ground.
So what I would say is you won't be able to get the bottom part of your jaw on it because it's basically on the ground. So like you could take your upper teeth and just like touch it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what he does.
okay, so you're able to do that, and it certainly feels solid. All right, let me move you guys over there, and then you can feel free to move yourself a little bit more how you like.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull out my cell phone and take a picture of Blixel licking rocks.
All right, so here's where you guys are. Feel free to move about. What I will point a couple things out again. You guys, let me put that back where it was. Let me get my pointer tool. Okay, so you guys originally came from the north. So this is higher elevation. This is the walkable path that you came down. Okay, so you guys kind of did one of these to get down here. Up here is where the waterfall is. You can see Dwali has set up his whole expedition tents. They got tents going. They've started a little bit of a campfire here, getting ready to just have like comforts of home kind of deal. This pile of bodies represents the Orogs and the Kobolds that have all been just kind of strewn together there. This here represents the molten gold in the ground. You can see this like worm type shape that is coming out of it. Only half of the body is exposed. You can't actually see the bottom. And then you notice what looks like large chunks of gold, and you can actually see gold veins running through the rock wall here.
You mentioned there's an elevated platform that I could see if I walked back up the where we came.
You are free to move about as you wish. As far as elevation, this is higher elevated, and so is it elevated over here. So you guys can think of yourself as being in like kind of like a ravine right now, and then this is elevated and this is elevated. Due to technical limitations, once you get up here, you'll be able to see this, and you should be able to see down. You won't be able to see across. This is actually higher elevation than even over here, but if you wish, you notice that it continues this way. You can go this way if you wish. You have walked over here once already, and you spotted that there was a tunnel down here that continued going. You also saw like a path this way, but yes, higher elevation this way, higher elevation this way. This is a ravine.
Tastes like pure gold over here, guys.
It's a gold worm, obviously. You guys never heard of a gold worm?
No. Is that a real thing?
Sure it is.
Do they make the gold?
I'm just pulling your leg.
Oh.
All right, so as you guys are taking in your surroundings, you notice Dwali's got everybody kind of set up, and he makes his way over, and he actually grasps onto your arm here, Dean, as he sees you first, and he's shaking with joy, perhaps trembling even, and he says, "Oh, my, this is going to be amazing! This is, oh!"
Have at it, my friend.
Well, we're just getting set up, but if you guys are ready, we can get started soon. We can get started in like an hour.
I'm good with it.
I'm curious about who is dropping these bodies here. Somebody left them behind.
Adam, I'm going to play my card.
Okay. Okay. And did you have something in mind with this, or do you want me to pull up what makes the most sense to me?
It's what makes the most sense to you.
Okay, so then what I'm going to say is you are kind of scouting around this area for a little bit, and as you make your way more south, you notice along this area, this like stone plinth here, there is these kind of like mushroom growth. So think of these like larger caps. They're kind of strange. They look like they're white mushrooms with like a yellow spindle coloration on the cap.
Oh. Looks like there's some mushrooms over here. If we're setting up camp, that'd be a good snack.
Can I see if I notice what they are?
You can certainly make a blind check here if you wish, Ian. This is a very unusual mushroom. You can't say you've ever seen one of this type before, Dean.
Oh, well, I've never seen this before. You found it. You want to pick it off?
Yeah, Blixel picks one up and pops it in his mouth.
Oh, I'm like, oh.
All right, as you pluck this mushroom, you notice that the brightness of the white starts fading fairly quickly after you pluck it, but you just pop it into your mouth quickly. As you eat it, you feel actually better. It's like it restores you in a way. It looks like you are currently at full health, so you don't notice any immediate effect, but you gain the effect of a bless spell.
Oh yeah, these are good.
Blessed be the edibles.
Everybody, come here. These things taste so good.
Yeah, but you got to eat them right away. It looks like the color faded.
Yeah, that's so we can't just have bless all the time by taking them out of this cave.
All right, Serena, roll a d4. You will restore that much HP, and you gain the benefits of a bless spell.
I wonder how long it lasts. That's pretty cool. I'll eat one also.
Okay, same thing, d4, and bless spell effect.
Hey. Do these mushrooms heal my leg?
They do not, I'm afraid.
I had to ask, you know.
Can I keep eating them until I'm full health?
You could, yeah. So you eat a second one. So yeah, if you only got 3 missing, yeah, that would be no issue.
Adam, I'm going to eat one as well. Might as well join the mushroom party that seems to be going on in my group here.
Okay, same exact effect for you.
Thorn's gonna eat the rest, I think.
All right, so let's see. Has everybody had some? Everybody except Saline had some, right?
Saline does not eat unidentified vegetables, or I guess fungus.
All right, Saline, please roll me a d10. All right, so after everybody has partook in the mushroom, there is 9 more servings of mushroom around this plinth before they would be exhausted.
We don't think we could pick them and save them, do we?
Based on the way the color goes, almost immediately upon picking them, you're pretty sure Blixel's accurate there, that it's almost like, no, you couldn't do that.
Let's just save them for now. You never know. I mean, unless you really need it, I guess. You know.
Who knew that underground had so much cool stuff in it? You dwarves are onto something.
All right, to try to get us to a good stopping point here, as we're right about the end of our time, is there any objection to the team after taking a short break here, beginning the expedition, that is, the expedition team, beginning to try to mine some of this gold?
None for me.
I will say that one last thing that Blixel wants to do is see if there's any sort of tracks or indication of where these people came into the cave, whether it was the way we came through or a different entrance.
Okay, sure. Throw me a blind check here, Blixel. So it's hard to get specifics, but I would say you are able to detect a general flow of traffic. However much traffic that is, it's really hard to say. It seems like this to this is a pretty common path. So other areas are more like the dust is maybe more gathered, it's a bit more collected. But this area down to this area, whether it's top to bottom or bottom to top, you're not sure. But that area seems to be more well trodden than the other areas.
Okay. And we came from here, right?
You did, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so if there's no other anything that anybody wants to do before the team starts doing the mining of gold, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, like, Griffin's up here keeping a lookout. Alice will be up on the south side as she kind of scouts around a bit. The miners then are making their way over. They do ask for your assistance in kind of just moving the bodies just to make it easier. Are you guys okay moving the bodies to somewhere more appropriate?
Yeah.
Yes, for
Splits will help.
65-35.
Yeah, help.
They don't seem to be up for that, but all right, I'm going to move the bodies away with the assumption that you guys have taken them elsewhere and kind of, quote unquote, cleaned them up to an extent. So as the mining operation begins here, you notice that they kind of look at the gold ore that's flat, but they decide to try to actually pound the rocks themselves, the gold ore rocks, to the east here. They start doing so. They pound on them, pickaxes, that sort of thing. This goes on for maybe 20 minutes or so. And at that point, I'm going to do a quick group check.
Yeah, I figured the mining sounds would definitely bring the ore rogs.
Tabard, as the mining is going on, you're feeling this sort of rhythmic pounding. You start to feel a vibration underneath your feet, like a rumbling in the ground of the rock. And that, folks, is we will go ahead and pause and end our session for tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed this session. I know that first battle was a little bit lengthy. Again, fog cloud really kind of throws things off sometimes. But yeah, we'll pick up next week, continue the session. We'll see what this rumbling sound might have to represent here. So hope you guys enjoyed the session. We'll see you guys all next week and continue the adventure then.
Great job, guys. Have a good night.
Good.
Have
All
a good
right,
night,
have a
everybody.
good week, guys.